certain that the official announcements will be made today. Some people are speaking into how it has revealed many things and that we need to heal. Do you agree? And what has this election revealed?
Yeah, definitely. Now it's a given that people have various political persuasions, and elections just to amplify that. I think we've seen it on social media, and it's expected, really. That's the nature of democracy. You know, other people will think otherwise. Others will think, you know, to the left, others to the right, and that's healthy. Actually, it's very unhealthy if we're all thinking the same. It means others are not thinking. If we're thinking the same, it means others are not thinking. So if even the scriptures guides us that woe unto you if all men speak well of you. It's not a compliment. If everyone says good things about you, it's not a compliment, because you're not perfect. So why isn't anyone talking about your imperfection? So you see even some people voting against the government, that is very healthy. Simply saying, look, there are certain sectors that I personally don't enjoy in this government, and I prefer maybe we change. That is part and parcel of a democracy, and in no way should it be viewed or seen as if it is unhealthy, divisive. We should treat that in the positive, that it's okay to differ, it's okay to have different political persuasions, it's okay to think otherwise. It is okay, Kisman. If your wife always agrees with you, you have a problem. You have a problem.
A dictator, actually.
Yes, it means you're a dictator. If she always agrees with you.
He hasn't given her liberty to express her true self.
Yeah, so as a country, we've been given that liberty to think differently. And that's why I think the message has always been that just because someone prefers a political candidate that is not yours or your preference does not make you an enemy. It is what we caught for upon ourselves. We are not in a one-party participatory democracy where it's just one party. We are now in a multi-party dimension where we have various political parties. We have 13 presidential candidates, and you see, if you check the pattern, very different from 2021. Very rare to see these others getting zero. They're getting votes.
Absolutely.
7, 3, 4, 10,
44.
That's
some places.
to tell you that that aspect of our democracy is actually growing.
Thank you, Paul. And just in case you just tuning in and coming to this special edition of the Breakfast Show, we're getting very close. 5 days after we cast our votes, and totaling has been happening. Some total MPs have been announced. Some of you are celebrating already with the people you supported. Some of you are crying, and indeed, that has been the order of the day. And some people are conceding defeat and saying congratulations. Others have been congratulated in that respect. Totaling is continuing, and like Paul has alluded to, we expect, according to a schedule, maybe otherwise, to receive final results today, but that is subject to how ECZ, we'll see today. Of course, amidst all these anxieties and uncertainties, what is important is that we bring verified information, verified data, and this is what makes Prime TV different. Whatever you are seeing on the screen is what we've captured. It's got empirical data. It's what we've seen. It's what we've touched. It is what our reporters have brought to our attention. And actually, later in the program, we are going to cross over to various bureaus, our colleagues, our reporters, to just highlight what is taking place across the country. And Paul, how have we fared? Particularly our reporters on the ground that have been giving us information from various polling stations across the country.
Yeah, I think our reporters are doing a great job, Kizito, and we must commend them. A number of them are actually sleeping at the totaling centers. A very a place of discomfort. It's very inconveniencing. They begin to sleep at the totaling center, but that is the extent they are getting to just ensure that we give our viewers accurate, results, not just what is trending on social media. I think we've done a great job thus far. Our colleagues also at the National Results Center have also, been giving us those updates, even as ECZ gives us those updates. I think that is very important to note. Concerning also in some areas why it's taking so long to announce the results. I'll give an example of Matero. I'm wondering why it has to take 3 days. You know, we voted on Thursday, today is Monday. What's so hard about announcing a winner in Matero? What's so hard about announcing a winner, Lusaka mayor elections? Why should it take? And these are places very close to technology. The heart of technology is there. And yet in the far-flung areas, hard-to-reach areas, they've already announced. So what exactly is the hurdle? And I think our colleagues at the National Results Center should be able to question, Mrs. Mangala Zalomes to also comment what exactly is causing the delay in announcing, these key seats, Matero, Lusaka mayor election. What exactly is causing the delay? Because we also seen clips of confusion. Reporters are reporting of the chaos happening at these totaling centers, and I think it is imperative on the part of the Electoral Commission of Zambia to be able to address the confusion happening.
Confusion is not enough reason to maybe delay with regards to the announcement?
I don't get the question.
I know that there's been confusion in certain places, for example, Matero, where somebody actually put on his Facebook page, one candidate who was participating thought he had won, and before we knew it, it's just been a bit of a chaos, maybe for lack of better terms.
And that's a concern, yeah. And
that's a concern. Could that be the reason why maybe there's been delay with regards to...
No, but so why the confusion? That's the question I'm asking this morning, Kizito Naomi. Why the confusion? Why the delay? I think SZ needs to be able to respond.
Yeah. Perhaps, Paul, for me, is there any particular order that elections must be announced? Should it be proximity or according to their timetable?
Look, even on the voting day, some polling stations closed the morning the following day, on the 14th of August. Why? Because of the complexity in the location. Other places, ballots reached late. And it's understood. Choppers had to be involved. It's understood. So when you have a center as close as Matero, as close as Nakatindi or here at the Lusaka City Council, taking forever to announce the results, the question that arises is, what is the cause?
But Paul, Matero is really big. It's one of the biggest constituencies. When we start totaling the numbers, maybe they're just
3
want to
days?
verify.
3 days? Justifies the 3 days?
Well, but did they promise that they will announce Matero in 2-3 days?
No, but parliamentary seats shouldn't even take 48 hours. No. And it's been a tradition, it's been a precedent. Parliamentary seats, almost all the constituencies have already know who has won. Almost all of them as we speak. Almost all of them. Except for these few. And that's why we're asking, why these few? Can they explain the reason so that we stop making assumptions? Because if you check even the Facebook pages of these candidates who are said to be leading, it's concerning. They're talking about difference in terms of Gen 20 forms, the figures that are there, and the figures that this is the ones to announce. And that's why my appeal to the Electoral Commission of Zambia chairperson is that even as you focus on the presidential results,
Yes.
but also these delays at especially these two, I think it's important that the wait is curtailed and the results are announced, also just to ease the anxiety of the people.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, we'll be back with our conversations. We need to get to the news right now. But after the news, more conversations continue on the show. Keep the interactions. We'll be able to hear from you a little later on the show as well.
constituency totaling center in Kabwe, disrupting the totaling of votes. And political leaders are being called upon to help uphold peace as the announcement of election results continues. And now the news in detail with me, Tommy Samuel Tembo. A group of suspected cadres violently stormed the Wacha North Constituency Totaling Center in Kabwe, sending Electoral Commission of Zambia ECC officials and stakeholders who were counting votes scampering for safety. The incident happened yesterday, Sunday, August 16, 2026, at around 15 hours as the counting of votes was in progress. The center was left in a mess with all the ECC equipment and material left unattended to. Joseph Siambihi gave us more details.
They were pushing us outside. We are running to them for help, but they're pushing us so that the cadres can beat us.
When everyone was seated, relaxed, monitoring the smooth counting of ballot papers for Kabwe's Wacha North constituents, a group of youths who others suspected to be UPND cadres found their way in after gaining entry at the poorly secured gate. At that time, there was only one police officer who was overpowered, forcing him to release the tear gas canisters in the room to disperse the attackers.
I came as a monitor under Society for Citizen Participation in Zambia. I happen to be the executive director for this organization. So as a monitor and observer, it was just sort of an hour after the resumption of the processing of results that we saw people, I don't know how can I even classify them, coming just along the wall of the hall in which we are accommodated. And then as we are looking at them, the next thing we saw, we just heard some kind of a gunshot, and we saw, falling into the room, and there was smoke everywhere. And there was no one to concentrate to see whatever was happening. So people just started scampering in all directions until we found our way and escaped out of the room.
Bachikorwa by the tear gas, and then those thugs abachingira mukati mulya, they managed to kupantura ichibi, they managed to kusenda kuli kwa presiding officer nama laptop kuna batoba gole fintumu nabasenda nama phones abantu bambi nabomala abantu munomunankane mu polling center.
We just heard the noise. We wonder how these people called I don't know, were cadres, how they managed to enter inside. Both gates are being guarded by the policemen. When we wanted to enter, they had to verify if we were eligible to enter inside. But all of a sudden, a group of thugs, they entered inside, and tear gas were being thrown where we were inside. One of the tear gas, it has even torn my trousers here.
On Saturday, the 15th of August, 2026, a similar situation happened, but police later contained the situation. This led to the suspension of counting until on the 16th of August 2026, around 12 hours. Information gathered by this journalist is that counting of ballot papers at Wacha South Totaling Center was also interrupted, while at Kabwe Central the situation was adequately managed by the security wing. More to follow on the story. Joseph Siambihi reporting, Prime TV News. In Kabwe.
A peace advocate, Mubiana has called on political leaders to help uphold peace and exercise restraint as the announcement of election results continues. Speaking in an interview with Prime Television News, Mr. Mubiana has urged leaders to avoid mobilizing people onto the streets, but instead channel their grievances through the proper legal processes in the courts of law. He says leaders should guide their supporters responsibly, stating that Zambia has been known as a beacon of peace and that the peace must be guarded jealously. Mr. Mubiana says Zambia is bigger than any political party and any election, adding that the peace that has been enjoyed since 1964 must be protected at all costs. Here are more details.
For all those who have participated in the elections, please, let the will of the people prevail. Let's not bring in violence, because we should understand to say Zambia belongs to all of us. And Zambia is bigger than any political party And Zambia is bigger than any election. After the people have spoken, the vote is cast. What we expect is that we stay in homes and guard the peace that we have enjoyed from 1964. To all citizens, I say choose peace. I say choose restraint. To our political leaders, I say do not send people on the streets to show your prowess. Our political leaders protect this peace by guiding your supporters to do the best, to do the needful. This is a country which is going to be a beacon of peace, and we should make sure that we protect and guard jealously.
The Non-Governmental Gender Organizations Coordinating Council, NGOCC, says whoever is elected president must appoint more women to senior government positions, including permanent secretary positions. NGOCC Executive Director Annie Mbewe Anamela says increased representation of women in decision-making positions is critical to ensuring women's lived experiences are reflected in policies, legislation, and national programs. Speaking in an interview with Prime TV News, Ms. Anamela has expressed disappointment with the low number of women who contested the 2026 general election. She says women accounted for only 25% of parliamentary candidates, representing a 10% decline from the 2021 elections. Ms. Anamela says representation of women at mayoral level has also declined by 4%, while ward level representation has dropped by 1%. She states that the number of women expected to enter parliament through proportional representation will not be enough to significantly bridge the gender gap. Here are more details.
That we obviously are going to have around elected officials. We would like to appeal to whoever is going to come, as the next president, to ensure that they appoint more women, for example, at permanent secretary level, in order to fill this gap, because we really do need women in the leadership positions, for women to be able to articulate, their lived experiences, and to ensure that these get into policy, into legal frameworks, and into the practice, of everything that we do in this country. So in terms of the representation of women in these elections, I think we are still quite disappointed as NGOCC to see the lowest numbers. At parliamentary level, we only had 25% candidates. And when we look at the general trend from 2021, at parliamentary level, we've gone down by 10%. At mayor and at mayoral level, we've gone down actually by 4%. And at ward level, we've gone down by 1%. That is actually very disappointing, and even if we have the proportional representation, 20 women from the proportional representation only represents 8%, and we had hoped that would make up the numbers through the elected positions. But looking at the number of nominations, it's evident that we will still have very low women representation in parliament. But I just want to really, congratulate all the women that stood at every level, and congratulations to those, that are going through, those that have gone through, and just to encourage women that we should not relent, we should not give up, we should continue trying, and we're going to continue advocating, continue working to see that we increase the numbers of women representatives in these elected positions.
Independent candidates Poho Kawina and Evans Lubelenga have won the Solwezi Central Parliamentary and Mayoral elections, respectively. Returning Officer Henry Mulemena declared Mr. Kawina duly elected Solwezi Central Member of Parliament after he polled 12,225 votes, defeating his closest rival, UPND parliamentary candidate Bruce Kanema, who polled 11,521 votes. A total of 29,940 votes were cast in the constituency, while 860 ballot papers were rejected as invalid. Meanwhile, Evans Lubelenga has scooped the Solwezi mayoral position. District Electoral Officer Stanley Mbewe declared Mr. Lubelenga duly elected mayor of Solwezi. Mr. Lubelenga, a journalist by profession and former employee of Kabangabanga Radio in Solwezi, thanked the people of Solwezi for entrusting him with the mandate. Jackson Mwansa now reports.
Independent candidates Paul Kawina and Evans Lubelenga have made history in Solwezi after winning the Solwezi Central Parliamentary seat and mayoral position, respectively. Kawina becomes the first member of parliament for the newly created constituency, polling 12,225 votes against UPND's Bruce Kanima, who scored 11,521.
They were bringing open boxes without the seals, but we had to fight until victory has come in Solwezi Central.
Today is a great day. The declaration has been made and we're officially Member of Parliament for Solwezi Central. To start with, we have to give sincere appreciation to the Head of State, His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema, for the peaceful environment that we have had these particular elections. There were a lot of innuendos during this particular campaign period, but we have seen even actually on election day when we had items being raised of network being cut down and the like, but we have not experienced any such thing. I don't think anybody has used any VPN. So that just gives an indication of how peaceful this particular environment has been, especially on voting day. So it gives us perspective of great leadership that we have seen from the President during this particular period of the elections. And it is in this regard that I would like to employ also the police officers, the military, as well everybody in the law enforcement circles, that we need to maintain this level of peace also during the results that are being declared, but ensuring that then we continue with this level of work, because at the end of the day, we are one Zambia, one nation, and definitely one people. So we look forward to beginning the work, and we keep pushing every day. And congratulations to the people of Solwezi. This win is not just for Kawina, this win is a win for the people of Solwezi, that then we start moving forward.
Meanwhile, journalist Evans Lubelenga has been elected mayor of Solwezi.
So I appreciate every media personnel. You are very important to this great nation, and let's work together. And to you, community members, support us, journalists, support us, the media houses, because we are so powerful. Once again, you are not always to miss Anchira.
In other results, UPND's Brenda Tambatamba has retained Kasempa Central, while Bran Kakonkanya has won the newly created Mufashi constituency. Jackson Mwansa reporting for Prime Television News in Northwestern.
The Zambia National Union of Teachers Synod says it continues to provide various forms of support to its members, including access to land, financial assistance, and support to schools. Synod General Secretary Muvwanjilanji Siwila says the union has pieces of land in different provinces where members can access plots at reduced costs. Mr. Siwila says the union also provides financial assistance, particularly to members attending residential schools, to help them meet some of their expenses. He says the initiative is part of the union's broader efforts to support its members and communities. Details coming up.
Throughout the country, we have portions of land. Like in Mongo, we have land. Then in Central Province, we have a piece of land where we are even giving 50 by 40 to our members at a reduced cost. Then other than that, to our members, apart from these promotional materials, we give what we call financial assistance. That financial assistance is mostly given to those who go for residential schools. They pass through, maybe you have even seen from outside, you may have seen one or two people there, they have come for financial assistance, wanting to go back home. Others who are undergoing residential schools, they want just to be assisted in something. Apart from that, we help generally, like we've done with Challenge Beach, under a feeding program. We have bought them, we've bought for the school. We've bought those dishes, those big pots for preparing the food. That one is part of what we give back to our members. We have also gone further, like we have at Chiworia Primary School here. We look around, We say, okay, let's see what we can give to the administration. What is it that you want as a school to be assisted by Zanoti? Then we go that way. From such assistance, we have what we may call social games, like where we tell our members we do cost sharing.
And that Zenota item has brought us to the end of the morning news. And on this note, I will hand you back to the Daybreak Special team as we continue with the breakfast show. Keep watching.
After a long day of spreadsheets, traffic, and people saying circle back, Twambo just wants to stream his favorite show. But of course, his subscription back in business. No panic, no drama. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your global pay card details, CVV, and expiry date. That's it. Show back on. Subscription paid. Couch Life activated. Be like Twambo. Get your global pay card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant.
Say hello to the new Blue Band with vanilla. Double the yum with classic Blue Band flavor and rich creamy vanilla taste. New Blue Band with vanilla, the taste you love plus vanilla. Now available in stores countrywide.
This is Mwamba, the Deco Queen. She turns spaces from mayo to wow. She could fly to China for new products, but why pick jet lag when you've got the Airtel Money Global Pay Card? No flights, no visas, just browse, pay, done. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your global pay card details, CVV, and expiry date. Simple. Be like Mwamba. Get your global pay card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, board.
Meet Suilanji. Curious, creative, always learning. New skills, global trends, she's in on it. Design or tech, she's exploring the best international options. And with the Airtel Money Global Pay Card, paying is the easy part. One quick tap and she's learning from the best. No stress, no visa, no problem. Even her parents are getting in on it. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your global pay card details, CVV, and expiry date, and that's it. Be like Suilanji. Get your global pay card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Meet Mundia. He ditched the 9-to-5 to build his brand. And yeah, he's crushing it. With the Airtel Money Global Pay Card, he's not just buying ad space, he's building hype. He pays for ads the same way he sells most of his shoes. Online, fast, and always on. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your global pay card details, CVV, and expiry date. That's it. The Airtel Money Global Pay Card, that's what keeps it moving. Be like Mundia. Get your global pay card in the Airtel Money section.
Many thanks to Tommy there who was giving us the news. In as much as we're here to inform you, educate you, it's also very critical to get the aspect from our news desk this particular morning. More conversations continue on the show. Kizito.
Yes, indeed, there are more conversations, and I think before we left, Paul was amplifying the conversations that we are picking from people where they are asking critical questions that cannot be ignored. Matero, Chawama, and all these polling stations and constituencies nearby, where accessibility is easy, and totaling and facilities to help us do this, and people asking questions, why haven't they told us, who is the mayor, why not announce? These conversations are critical. And Paul, once again, your concern, what should ECZ do?
Yeah, I think these are very critical concerns, Kizito Naomi, because also speed in the electoral process is of paramount importance, because of the impatience people have, but also with the ability to tamper with the figures when the process takes longer than necessary. The ability, because if you check the concerns in Matero, and you'll be able to share a clip, actually there's a clip that will show you tempers rising, at the totaling center, and the main concern is the change of figures, whether that is factual or not, and that is why ECZ must respond, because why are there allegations of change of figures? Because it means you are changing the will of the people. That is the interpretation. So if there are these allegations that the Gen 20 forms and the figures that are there are not what is in the final document, then ECZ cannot afford to keep quiet. They have to speak. What is the status? Because now we rely now on the official status from the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Why are there changes of figures? And are those allegations, first of all, even true? And they're the only ones that can answer that question, really. So in this case, I think it's very important that, ECZ comes to terms with the concerns people are raising on the ground. Lusaka mayor election, it is taking 3 days. Today we're even expecting final presidential results. And yet, at parliamentary level, well, does it make sense? The whole country, you're managing to consolidate results for the president at the whole general election level. And yet, for the parliamentary level, you are struggling to conclude. It beats logic, actually. It does beat logic. Why you are failing when at national level you're able to consolidate. Right now we have 135 constituencies at presidential level completed. A constituency in Matero, a constituency in Chawama is yet to conclude. I think that raises question. But maybe director is not so sure if that clip, of the complaints in Matero is real. You like to hear, just for you to be able to appreciate the concerns people are raising. You know that these are not just concerns that are unfounded. These are concerns, that are happening on the ground as captured by, our reporters. Let's get to that and be able to see these concerns are coming in from the totaling center in Matero.
When we have the Gen 20's original one. Come on, just do a fair play, a fair game. Their candidate accepted defeat, and today they want to change their mind. We are not kids.
Today wants to win.
Today wants to win.
So we should congratulate him.
They are here to intimidate us. No. We are not going to allow this to happen. Not anymore. They are not reasoning with logic here. We've got the papers, we've got the Gen 20s, but what are they doing? We've told them there is no stream which had more than 500 voters. Where are those votes coming from? We win some, you lose some. You accept defeat. That is how life is.
They are not ready because they know that what they've done is a criminal activity.
Exactly.
If I thought everything else was right, they would have the courage to come here and resolve this issue. The fact is that this is an illegality which is happening here, and the correct thing must be done. If we are saying we have ended cadarism, we are saying we want a professional ECZ, then we must allow the ECZ to operate professionally. You cannot have a situation where the total number of registered votes or the votes cast is lower than the votes that a candidate gets when you add all of them.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
When we were done counting at all the polling stations, those those boxes, they were sealed. But when we came here, there's someone just said, you've made a mistake on this, all these Gen 20s. Can you start writing them from one? That's what they started doing. They opened all the boxes there. How do you accept us to agree with what they are counting there? We've given them the numbers. Over 45 polling stations. They've inflated the figures. So
I wish to state that we all have the rights to behave in whatever capacity. You guys,
they should have been interviewed separately.
Yes, no, I'm responding to you. I'm responding to you. So please come to us, yes, because I also.
You are not ECZ. We are not addressing you. We are addressing ECZ. We are not addressing you.
Yes,
we are addressing
you have raised. You have raised.
You are not.
You said we have inflated figures. You said you have inflated figures.
You are not a spokesperson for ECZ.
I'm not even responding on behalf of ECZ.
Sir,
but do you want anyway?
What do you want us to listen?
We are not ECZ.
You've not been there.
Listen, gentlemen, can we be orderly? Can we be orderly?
You can't give us order.
I want
to order, sir.
Then you might leave us. Okay, then you can leave us. I talk to the media.
It's not you to tell us to leave. You found us.
No, I've been here.
Yes,
so I want to talk to the media.
Sir.
So the matter is simple, sir. We have the mandate, the duty to legally allow ECZ to respond to all queries that are being done here. So we cannot have a situation where we are going to be shouting all day. No, let ECZ carry out the mandate which it was constitutionally established. We are not going to allow anyone to make noise here. We are also complainants in our own cause. So therefore we say let ECZ work in accordance to the law. Thank you very much.
What we are seeing here, these are the things that they've been writing in here from the time we came here on Thursday.
These are the seals that they opened. All these ballot boxes that we are seeing here, they were opened. How do you expect us to accept?
We know how to
These
fight.
seals, they were put on those boxes after counting.
Then here they come.
Counting.
They cut them off.
They cut them off with who? Without the stakeholders. We have all the results, and we know that our candidate has won.
And we found more G20 here.
What you are seeing in all this, in that box, that's where they were tearing our Gen 20s. They are from that box. We caught them in the night. We even told them, don't take that box outside there.
They are. Can you check?
Are you coming to me?
Of course, Kisman, that's the clip I was referring to.
Yeah. Deep diver, and I want you to go deeply into this. And the conversations are very deep. Tempers are high. The numbers, according to the guys, are not adding up. Variances, documents, according to them, tempered with the time it has taken. They have had to redo it. And now we see also a gentleman trying to respond, and they say, you are not ECZ. We are appealing to ECZ. First of all, how should people appeal in terms of grievances? But this is a bad poll, if it means anything.
Yes, and this is a concern Michael Sata had in 2008 presidential by-election, where you have, at the polling station, for example, 500 people have voted. A candidate gets 600 votes. Same concern. Michael Sata had in Vubu. It's the same concern those men are raising. But look, at this polling station, how is someone being awarded votes more than the number of registered voters at that station?
That's an anomaly.
And that is a serious irregularity that ECZ must respond to. And I think they were right to say, look, we don't want you to respond, we want ECZ to respond. The officials, the custodians of the elections. Why are you having more? You've manufactured people. You've doctored people. I think these are serious questions, serious concerns. Because Matero, and I look, for me, I think I know that tempers are high, clearly in Matero. The UPNG candidate invested quite a lot. Quite a lot. But to have these concerns go unaddressed will be the greatest concern. Because it's an injustice to the electoral process. There is no way you have 500 people, and this is an hypothesis. There's no way you have 500 people registered to vote at Paul's Academy polling station, and Kizito was the candidate. He gets 550. The 50 extra, where did they come from?
And how did they arrive anyway?
Yes. And why is it that the Gen 20 forms, which tabulates the consolidated results, are different? The figures on those forms, the Gen 20 forms, by the way, are the forms that the ECZ that everyone approves. This is the final consolidated results. Everyone signs. And yet, what you want to announce is different from what is. That's a concern Gary had in 2021, if you remember now, Kisman. Same concern Gary raised at the National Results Center. We have the forms here.
Yes.
We have the forms here. And you approve these forms, and these are the results. But what you're announcing is different. Because once you announce, you know the next step to address your concerns is the court. Once a returning officer announces, I announce Naomi Shingongo as a duly elected member of parliament, Chilanga.
Yes.
The next course of redress is the court.
Wow. So this is why we've been seeing a number of people challenge, results right at centers.
Yes, because they are afraid that once wrong results are announced, even at presidential level, once you announce wrong results, I declare Mulyokela as president of Zambia, the winner. Even if you have genuine concerns, born at that point is
wow.
People avoid it. And that's why the process before announcement must be protected and guarded jealously. And any irregularity must be addressed. The concern for me I have for the ECZ is why has it taken long? Today, if you look at that headline on our screen, final presidential results are to be announced today. And I know that that will not change because only 91 constituencies are remaining. And traditionally, ECZ never completes all the constituencies. They never.
Particularly if there is a huge lead.
Yes. Already we've seen President Church is leading by 500,000 votes. And there are some strong votes that are yet to be announced. So the next announcement at 11 hours, by the way, ECZ has communicated, the next announcement will be at 11 o'clock. That should be the last to the final. The one coming at 11 hours is the one that will take us to the final results.
And when these disputes go to court, if at least we advance to that level, can we trust that the courts will be able to act independently?
Well, we've seen some, petitions, going through. Look at, for example, in 2021, people petitioned the election of Boma Musambo in Kabushi. People petitioned the election of Joe Malanji in Kwacha, Kobabiot. And the petitioners won. We went to by-elections.
People say maybe because they were in opposition.
Well, argue it all you want, but if there's evidence, the court does not work with the court works with evidence. If there's evidence of wrongdoings, then I think we should be able to trust the courts at that point. So it's not over until the courts also say so. I foresee quite a number of petitions in this election, including presidential level.
Wow.
I think even Katuta has already indicated that she I don't know why, but
that she will petition.
She will petition, but if you look,
she was supposed to be leading.
But do you feel like she's done fairly well? Is this what we expected?
I've also heard that even some other candidates like Mundubile's team are also planning to petition in case they lose. But that's the process, really. And we must commend you for thinking like that. In case you're not satisfied, instead of resorting to the streets, you get to go to the courts. But I think let's be able to address the teething problems, before it gets too late. Let's address the teething problems. And can we have, within this morning, we have final results being announced material?
Indeed.
Now, Paul, just now, maybe let me just interject slightly.
Yeah.
Looking at what has happened in Matero and other areas where concerns have been raised, is a video enough? Is a statement enough on video to ECZ to say, look, we have a problem here, come and address it? Or is there an established way to say, look, we have grievances, attend to it now and now?
I think the people raising concerns should be able to write to the chairperson before the results are announced at parliamentary level with those concerns. Truly, if a candidate is being awarded more votes than the number of registered voters, not even ECZ can put a blind eye to that. Not even ECZ can put a blind eye to that. Because then, that's a great abnormality, which ought to be addressed. And maybe that explains why there's been delay. But there's a lot of things happening, because if you also check what's happening for the Lusaka Mayor election, same concerns that people are raising. So we hope that, and we do trust the Electoral Commission of Zambia to be able to do a good job in this regard and address these teething problems.
Indeed, because the things we leave unattended to actually progress into more things. By now, we should have learned from the past, Kizito.
Yeah, I agree, Naomi, because you see, democracy is not relatively new in this country. From 1991, we, after Kaunda said, okay, you can go back to multipartism. These things, are things that we've seen come and go. But it's a concern when Zambians are not happy with the way things are done. It is one thing to lose Naomi, but it's another thing to realize that the process, due diligence was not done in the process. And maybe at this point, this is why we now must also teach people, maybe ECZ must also invest in educating, aggrieved people. Like the gentleman is very upset, is spoken on video, but it's not official, and it can't be submitted in court. Yeah, but to the contrary, if that document goes to court with a complaint and with all valid documentation, then that document could be used in court. The video is good. You see, everyone wants to make a press statement, but to the press statements, what validation do we have? What are the records?
That's all there is. The video is good. That's all we're able to see. But beyond that, what can come out of that?
That's right. Perhaps the guy is just even staging. You never know. Someone will say, I'm injured. The other day, someone says it was me who was injured. And we see the videos. We've seen Paul. Where Gary Kombo says, I'm attacked. The next day we hear it's another one who was attacked. And if we depend on videos, then we'll be in trouble.
Absolutely. But speaking of videos, maybe we can get some motivation from this particular video, which is authentic, from a Kenyan motivational speaker, Ezekiel Kelly Odongo, I hope I said that right, who argues that you're either successful or afraid.
Kindly watch this. Fear is like a spectacle, and when you are wearing it, everything will look impossible. You will never know what is possible until you make a move. And you see, courage is not a factor of age, gender, or even the skin color. As you can see, the black hen is daring where a cock lost hope and is on his way back. There are women who have done exploits where men took off. It is very possible to be courageous in the environment of fear, because it will always take one outlier that will set the pace for the rest. That something has not been done does not mean it is impossible. maybe the cowards went before you. You see, fear will always cost you extra time and resources. See how long it took the other chicken to decide whether to fly or not. And even after seeing how the black hen did it, they still flew higher and further. You see, there are things you can achieve now, but fear can hold you up to old age when the appetite is gone and the energy expended. Unfortunately, there are people who will never try anything important because of fear. Even after watching others succeed, please don't join them. Instead, develop the attitude of the black hen. Thank you.
Everybody needs some motivation, gentlemen. Are we successful or afraid? Is the question. But also in the context of an election, can fear of losing sometimes become more dangerous than losing itself? That is the question that, we could be asking this morning. And you can jump on our different social platform this particular morning and give us your views on these critical issues that we're tackling this particular morning. Yesterday, we did see the Wacha North Constituency Toddling Center in Kawe being abandoned by the Electoral Commission of Zambia officials and, of course, other stakeholders after a group of suspected cadres allegedly stormed the facility. The incident occurred around 15 hours while the counting and verification of election results was underway. The disturbance reportedly forced ECZ officials and stakeholders to flee for safety, bringing the electoral process at the center to an absolute halt. Very, very sad readings there, Kizito, from the Wacha North Constituency Tailing Center, where you actually have, you see ECZ officials leaving the place.
Yeah, very unfortunate, and I do see that there's a reaction, and maybe we can refer to it at some point where Makebe Zulu has reacted, and said, people must be brave to protect the votes more than protect their lives. Of course, another statement that requires analysis from Paul the deep diver. Whether
I like his new name.
Yes. Yeah, sure, because you go on your neck is a shark. So we'll see whether people should leave or whether security should be intensified. But these are concerns, and Naomi, even maybe before we go deeper into this, I would want to hear from Paul. What is the international community thinking about Zambia? There are these concerns now that seems to be growing. If it is an isolated incident, one would say, hey, let's forget it's a material phenomenon. But we are seeing violence again, to the extent of, making experts run away. Maybe it's staged, maybe it's not. What do we have?
Yeah, I think it's very concerning that especially where figures are being put together to have officials also run away. And I think that's why we attempt, shortly to speak to our staffer at the Bureau, the Central Province, Joseph Siambihi, who also has been a victim, of these acts of violence. I think just to get a first-hand information. But when you have the people, it's like a doctor running away during an operation. The patient is left to die. This is it, running away where the figures are. The figures are left vulnerable.
Wow.
Kizito can just walk in and says, who gave me 5 votes? Let me put 2 zeros. 500. Because the officials are running away. So if that is the case, and as we are hearing even from a reporter, on the ground, that is deeply concerning. And it's not isolated. We have seen this, in various, police stations, talking centers. And I think it's something that should worry all of us, but also requires an urgent, reaction. Why this happening? I was, watching, another, video where, of course, someone also, they were talking about them being moved, the media being moved away from the place, the army taking over as well. That becomes a huge, concern where the army comes to take over a polling station. For me, I think it will be important for the Zambians to get answers in that regard. What exactly is happening? Elections that ought to be free should be free from these incidences. I think that's why we attempt to speak to our people that are dotted across the country just to get up to speed information now.
Indeed, Paul as well as Kizito would then be able to speak to our staff who basically in Joseph Siambi. First we'll start with him. Let's speak to Joseph, but before we speak to Joseph, let's check out this report, very disturbing report, and then we'll be able to get more information regarding it.
They were pushing us outside. We are running to them for help, but they're pushing us so that the cadres can beat us.
When everyone was seated, relaxed, monitoring the smooth counting of ballot papers for Kabwe's Wacha North constituents, a group of youths who others suspected to be UPND cadres found their way in after gaining entry at the poorly secured gate. At that time, there was only one police officer who was overpowered, forcing him to release the tear gas canisters in the room to disperse the attackers.
I came as a monitor under Society for Citizen Participation in Zambia. I happen to be the executive director for this organization. So as a monitor and observer, it was just sort of an hour after the resumption of the processing of results that we saw people, I don't know how can I even classify them, coming just along the wall of the hall in which we are accommodated. And then as we are looking at them, the next thing we saw, we just heard some kind of a gunshot, and we saw, what is this, falling into the room, and there was smoke everywhere. And there was no one to concentrate to see whatever was happening. So people just started scampering in.
Those thugs abachingira mukati mulya, they managed to kupantura ichibi, they managed to kusenda kuli kwa presiding officer nama laptop kuna batoba wole fintumu n'abasenda n'amaphones abantu bambi nabo bana abantu munomunankane mu polling center.
We just heard the noise. We wonder how these people called, I don't know, cadres, how they managed to enter inside. Both gates are being guarded by the policemen. When we wanted to enter, they had to verify if we were eligible to enter inside. But all of a sudden, a group of thugs, they entered inside, and tear gas were being thrown where we were inside. One of the tear gas, it has even torn my trousers here.
On Saturday, the 15th of August, 2026, a similar situation happened, but police later contained the situation. This led to the suspension of counting until on the 16th of August 2026, around 12 hours. Information gathered by this journalist is that counting of ballot papers at Wacha South Totaling Center was also interrupted, while at Kabwe Central, the situation was adequately managed by the security wing. More to follow on this story. Joseph Siambehi reporting, Prime TV News in Kabwe.
Very disturbing instances there, but we'll definitely be able to find out what exactly happened. Were election materials secured? Was the integrity of the results compromised? And when will the process resume? For the answers, we connect with our Central Province reporter, Joseph Siambi, who was caught up in the confusion. Joseph, good morning.
Good morning, thank you. How are you today?
I am great. How
are you doing? I'm trying. At least my eyes are back to normal.
Oh, wow. That is very great. At least now your eyes are back to normal. We were very worried yesterday when we did see the disturbing images. Now, take us there. What exactly happened at the Wacha North Totaling Center, and what triggered the disruption?
Well, so it was, you may be aware that the previous day, there was a suspension of, verifying the results owing to a similar incident that happened where, some unruly youths stormed the Totaling Center to disrupt the verification of results. And yesterday was even more worse. when these youths walked in. You may be aware that the Throttling Center for Bwacha North constituency is actually right at the government offices, Bomaho, and police had put enough security in all the gates. But alas, this particular time, when the verification just resumed around 12 hours, these cadres coming in, all of us were in the hall, and unfortunately that time there was only one police officer manning the gate, so they overpowered him. He tried to close the doors for the hall, but he couldn't manage, and that's how now he had remained with no choice but to release the tear gas canisters in the building while everyone was. And so it was a very disturbing situation, and everyone had to scamper in no direction. You know, at the moment, what I can say is what triggered to this. You may wish to know that at the moment, the opposition candidate, who happens to be for NRPUP, is leading in this. And so we cannot, first of all, say these people, these youths that came up for this particular party, but people are speculating. They are speculating to say they could be the youths from the United Party for National Development because of the current situation with regards to the results that are coming in. That's what I can say to answer your question.
Right, and now, Joseph, what happened
ballot
to the ballot papers,
the result sheets, computers, and other sensitive ECs and materials when officials fled the center?
I tried to stick around after that incident. Everyone left, but at that particular time, there was no care. Materials, equipment were abandoned and left unattended to. I'm yet to get a report this morning to hear exactly what was taken away and what was left behind. But like you saw in the video, everything was left like that. And we do not know they were trying to get something from their materials or equipment. At the moment, best for me to get a report this morning. I'm sure the staff have compiled a report to this incident, and maybe I can give a better report to what was taken away and what was left behind.
So for now, ACZ has not issued or established anything that was destroyed
with or compromised?
Not to my knowledge. At the moment.
Joseph, are you still there?
There's been no statement, but like I've said, I think I'll be making tempered with and how the current situation is.
Right. So what security measures have now been
placed, and what are the authorities saying about the continuation of the process? Has any security measures been put up?
Yes. Immediately that happened, a few minutes later we saw the Zambia Army coming at the Throttling Center to beef up the security. And the time I was leaving the premises, we had a lot of the security people at the Throttling Center. And we hope that this could continue because, like I said, this is the second time we having an interruption and the suspension of the verification of results. The whole Kabwe district, we've not had anyone declared a winner. Talk about the mayoral seat, the parliamentary seat, or the three constituencies, Central, Bwacha North, and Bwacha South. And this is worrying because we keep on getting these disturbances and interruptions, and the more we take things. So from my end, I think there's truly need to beef up security at all times and ensure that this process actually is concluded.
Right. And with the uncertainty taking place outside, how is Kabwe looking like? How's the atmosphere in Kabwe this morning?
I'm yet to get to town because I was trying to just prepare for this interview, but I'll be able to give you the situation when I get to understand what is currently going on in all the three totaling centers.
Joseph, thank you so much for speaking to us this morning. Please stay safe.
Thank you very much. I will.
Indeed, that was our staffer Joseph CMB. He just basically letting us in on what happened at the Bwacha North Totaling Center. Please remain on standby because this is a developing story and we'll be able to give you the nitty-gritties even as it unfolds. Zito.
Yeah, Paul, we've seen what is happening, compromised in every sense. And whatever happened in between is a mystery until we hear from ECZ. But we have enough talking points. The international community is watching, the Zambians, and even the convenience. Should ECZ even announce the winner in this particular case? And what can we say about this situation?
Yeah, and these the things that I think we've emphasized, Kizito, Naomi, that when you delay to announce the results, this is what happens. I remember Balanda difficult call I feel like you're dating a girl for 5 years. What are you doing with her? And Chikwe Navana. A year is enough. I always tell young men, a year is enough. Within a year.
Which money?
It's enough. Why are you going to a girl when you have no money? Look at how long now that man has been dating you.
Oh.
You must be able to tell him that, look, this is too much.
I don't date long, Paul.
Paul, you are the brother. You are the one who should say, hey, my sister is off limits here.
So I've been telling her that, look, I need to meet this young man. Now he's not getting younger.
Wow.
You know?
Make me sound so old. I'm going to see the market too.
But Sarah was 90 when she had a child, so...
No, we're not doing the Sarah.
Okay. You don't get to 90, right? Yeah, please. So please tell Richard.
Wow.
Richard needs to get serious.
I've not had Richard in a while since we've been here.
So when the process, it's something about justice. When they talk about justice, justice delayed is justice denied. It's the same thing, we talk about. And that's why I think when you see the happenings in Bwacha North, the happenings, Lusaka mayor election, the happenings in Matero, you get concerned, you get worried. Why is it that they are taking long? But even as they take long now, you see what is happening now on the ground.
Yeah, Paul, let me just hold your thoughts. We have our staffer, Pascal. Pascal, welcome to Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Kizito.
Good morning to you all.
Good morning. Let's start by speaking the local language. Please tell us what is the situation like on the ground there?
Well, I think as usual, I think things are stable. I'm yet to get to know what's unfolding in the business district, just to find out what's really obtaining. But as of yesterday, things were stable. People are just in their various homes waiting and patiently following the announcements of the results. But generally, answer is peaceful, is okay.
Any incidences, any special incidences? We've seen where people have stormed into polling stations, ballots, this, that, people crying here. Any incidences like that in your area?
Not at the moment. Of course, there are just little frictions here and there. I think there were those, during the counting of ballots at parliamentary level. But as at now, I think things are okay. They're stable. I'm sure it's because of the patrols and the security that we are witnessing in the district. So things are stable. I'm yet to get to find out what's really unfolding as of today when I get to town.
The upsets in terms of elections, I mean, some people who were heavyweights made it or, failed. Who are the MPs and from which particular political parties?
Of course, we have for Mansa district, all the members of parliament have been declared, and of course even the mayoral seat. So Mansa district has 3 constituencies. We have Bahati, Mansa East, and of course Mansa West. So in Bahati, Chibombwe has been retired. Levan Chibombwe who is UPND candidate, has been retired, and of course we have Dr. Sydney Kaweme, who is now newly elected member of parliament, and of course he had 12,000, 284. He had scored that, and of course his immediate opponent, who is Chibombwe, he had 2,928. So
you said under what you were almost saying under which party? You're saying under?
So Kaweme is under NRPUP. Was retired. The UPND is Levan Chibombwe, and of course that's in Bahati. For Mansa East, we had engineer Webi Simwai, who is now the first ever, because these are new constituencies after the delimitation. So he's the first ever, member of parliament for Mansa East, who is again under NRPUP. So in Mansa West, we have Dr. Chitalu Chirufya, who was member of parliament for Mansa Central before the delimitation. So he's now the member of parliament for Mansa West. And of course, there were those issues because we had his opponent, who is UPND's Njiko Musuku. And, this is a politician who has been mentored by Dr. Chitalu Chirufya. So it was a bit weird to have him, competing with, they're calling him his uncle, Chirufya. They're referring Chirufya as the uncle to Njiko Musuku. So it was kind of, people were expectant, and they were patiently waiting to see the results, because this was really a weird, competition. They are saying the nephew and the uncle competing, in the race. And
the nephew is beaten.
The nephew has been beaten. Wow. And after filing in of the nomination, Dr. Chitalu Chirufya made mention to say, look, all these opponents, please, can you join me in the race as part of my campaign team? Because it's obvious that I'm going to carry the day. And so Mansa people were patiently waiting to see the outcome. And of course, Dr. Chitalu Chirufya has come out victor.
The numbers. What do the numbers look like? The nephew was beaten by how many votes on average?
So the nephew came out third. We had Chirufya with 9,019 votes. And of course, the immediate opponent, who is Chalwe, under the UPND, he had 4,547. And of course, the nephew, who is Njiko Musuku, under UPND rather, came out third with 2,265. So the nephew he came out third, and of course, Chirufya emerged winner.
And then the mayor?
Of course, the mayor is under NRPUP, who is Vesa Kalumba. In fact, this is a former deputy mayor. When Njiko Musuku, before contesting for Mansa West, we had Njiko Musuku as the mayor, and Vesa, who is now the mayor, was deputy mayor. So under NRPUP, Vesa has emerged victorious and is now the newly elected, Mansa mayor.
Question, Pasco. Has UPND managed to scoop any seat in Luapula province there?
Of course, though they have not declared yet, I think in Chiengi we have favorite Musangu. She's scooping that seat. We're just waiting, I think, for the declaration. In Bangweulu, Samfya district, we have Happy Mampa. I think yesterday night he was declared winner. He has scooped that particular seat. I'm told even in Lunga, there is a UPND candidate was scoped that particular seat. Of course, Peter Kapala in Chifunaburi North, because after the limitation, Chifunaburi district constituency rather was split in two. So we have Chifunaburi North and East. So North we have Peter Kapala under UPND, who was scooped that particular seat. On the other side we have NRPUP, who is also leading in that particular regard. So we are waiting to see more results and we'll be able to update. But so far, I think about 5 seats have been taken by United Party for National Development.
That sounds good, because the picture looks good that there was healthy competition and no incidences, no injuries.
Yes, we have not really recorded any incidents of violence, and it's good that the people of Luapula have maintained that pace and not really trying to change the narrative. Of course, they are known for peace. So we just hope that even as the counting is underway at presidential level, peace will still be maintained.
Thank you so much, and looking forward to getting more updates as presidential announcements are made. We hope to get videos live. What will people say, the reactions, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And Naomi, Luapula, that's where I come from.
That's where you come from,
Kizito.
I've seen how excited you are.
No, because you see,
bring us some of the foods that you eat, Luapula.
Nimboa, you actually think you are eating meat.
I know, I love boa.
Imboa, not boa, imboa. Paul.
Is this the same boa I know?
Are you from Mononga?
Paul, I know where you're going from.
Yeah,
I do Holycraft.
As people say, that if someone goes to Mononga for you, you won't leave. So even if now refuses,
I saw that coming. Why is always shady?
No, Paul, you're married. If I tell her
I'm available,
I am going to Mononga, and I truly go there.
I can't say no.
She can't call him, please, I don't care.
Is it now be such a dangerous spot to ever be in?
So please take me to Mononga, sir.
Yes, indeed.
For what reason?
So that Naomi agrees. But I think it's a very interesting, especially with the uncle, nephew relationship in Mansa, because it's actually regarded that Jiko is a mentee to Chitalo Chilofya. Chitalo mentored, Jiko, and I don't even know why. Sometimes kuipima. Yeah, maybe he thought because you're standing on the ruling UPND ticket, he could win against your mentor. Sometimes I think kuipima, he was walloped, even came out third. I think if he had continued in the opposition, continued even as mayor, sometimes I think we get to be too ambitious as a people.
Yes.
That's a challenge. I feel that sometimes I think we overrate ourselves. In life it's important to know your level.
Speak of the levels.
Yes, Naomi. It's important to know
the
your
levels.
level. If Naomi, a man like Paul is coming to you, don't refuse.
There we go.
Why are you refusing?
Because what?
Because of my level.
Okay. And what's Paul's level?
He's a deep diver.
So sad for him because the young man was coming so well, by the way, politically, and loved in Mansa as a mayor. Someone was telling me in Mansa that, those good councillors that we have in our communities who attend funerals, every challenge people have, that was in Jiko. Loved by the people. But because he crossed the floor.
Is it the end for him?
Well, he's too young. Definitely. He can still bounce back. So look at when he has bounced back.
He has.
In the National Assembly.
Yes.
So it's not too late. Alexander Chikemel lost in 2021.
Yes.
He stood on the PF ticket.
Yes.
Binu Mpundu.
Yes.
He has realigned.
Yes.
Stood under NRPOP. And has returned in Kana.
Yes. In fact, Paul, even Chilufya, I remember him franking under Sakeni.
Yes.
Asa Pona.
Yes.
Then when Sakeni passed away, he crossed parties, restart our journey, and Uncle always embraces. But the question for me is, Luapula receiving UPND. What does that say about UPND? About 5 seats.
Yes. I think we must be very honest. And director is not so sure if you have this, on the screen, just to show how people voted. Someone has inboxed me. Kizito, you're saying something very right about GCOT, trying to go back to the mentor to receive help. Say,
White Chief,
says Kizito is right. If you look at the way the provinces voted, and I'm not so sure if we can have that, but let me go ahead of the just to show how people voted in the provinces. You'll be able to tell that UPND has grown. Argue all you want, numbers don't lie. In 2021, just 5 years ago, the UPND did not even manage to get one parliamentary seat. Not a single seat 5 years ago. Today, the situation
is different.
What does that tell? I was telling someone yesterday that, look, even in the provinces where Brian Mundubile is leading against HH, the difference between the two is minimal.
That's right.
But where HH is leading against Mundubile,
one of the smartest, could you say one of the smartest things, even as we have that on the screen, that President Hakainde Hichilema did was to push for delimitation, right? So by creating more constituencies, did he create opportunities for his party to field strong candidates, even in opposition strongholds? Did that work well for him?
Look, I don't think it is in that light. In as much as, because without delimitation, the will of the people still will prevail. Not this document. You see another document on the screen, that shows, of course, how the provinces voted. Hakainde Hichilema is standing at 1,546,140 at 58% in terms of percentage form, and Brian Mundubile is standing at 1,030,662, and of course at 39.3% in terms of votes, and this is coming from 135 constituencies. 91 are remaining. 69 constituencies have been won by Hakainde Hichilema. Yes, that is the document I was referring to. If you look at, say for example, Copperbelt, okay? President Hichilema, and look at the screen. President Hichilema, in Copperbelt, is trailing way behind. He got 73,349 so far. Look at Brian Mundubile, 129. Look at the difference, huh? Eastern Province also. Look, 162,000 for HH, 307 for Mundubile. Look at Luapula, 61,000 for HH, 141 for Mundubile. Look at provinces now, like Southern Province. Just look down there. 597,665 against 20,000. The difference, look at Western Province, look, like a joke. That is 3,800 from 135 constituencies consolidated in Western Province, 1,000. Sir, look at Northwestern Province. Northwestern Province, Mundubile is trailing with 4,000. And look at HH, 125,000. That is where the catch is. Like, even if I lose in your strongholds, I'm losing graciously.
Yes.
But when you lose in my strongholds, you are losing shamefully.
And I know that's a conversation that will be diving deep into Paul, with regards maybe regional voting.
But my point is, the UPND has grown.
Yes.
In the areas where they were not strong. And it is a commendation to the ruling party.
Yes.
Because that is not how they performed last election 5 years ago. Meaning they've made inroads in those areas. I remember traveling for Umtomboko ceremony in Wapula province, Mwasabombwe, 2 years ago. The mood. As a matter of fact, President Hichilema was expected as a guest of honor. The people are even saying Oroteshire. Oroteshire. Because they don't like him. That is not his stronghold.
They didn't like
They
him.
didn't like him. That was not his stronghold. But today, if you look at the difference in terms of the votes he's getting,
What has made them like him?
the man has won the hearts of the people in those areas. And I think it's a plus to the ruling UPND. And it's also a lesson that Zambia is not one province. It's a whole country. And for you to win, I've always emphasized, for you to win an election, you must have a national character, as enshrined in our constitution. And this national character must translate into votes. Not where we can even guess when they're announcing results. They start from the lowest. Pule Daniel. You can even guess that it's Pule Daniel behind. That shows you that, look, there's something wrong with your methodology. So congratulations to UPND. Because if they performed, and I can bet this, if they performed, badly, the way they performed in 2021 in these areas, they'll be trailing behind.
But everyone wants to identify with the ruling party, no?
Yeah, but Naomi, I also like the question you asked before we go for a break. What has worrying? Even where Mundubile comes from, UPND has done considerably great. What has changed, as Naomi has asked, and then we go for a break?
Yeah, look, I think if we're going to be very honest, the services people appreciate are services they can touch, they can feel, tangible. I doubt the people in Mononga can tell you that they've not felt the benefit of free education. I doubt so. I doubt. Because it's a huge problem. In the urban areas where we are, we even take our children to private schools where we can afford. Go in the rural areas and check how many people are struggling to send their children to school because of those 600 kwacha they were paying per term. It's a huge relief. We did a study at some point with some CSO on the causes of early marriages and teen pregnancies. Parents would tell us during the door-to-door, truly understand that if I was in their shoe,
I would do the same.
I would do the same. Then someone comes and says, look, since you're struggling to take your children to school, I'll pay for you. You think they can forget that? I don't think so. So I think there's a number of improvements they've seen. Because then in 2021, UPND was in the opposition, so they were wondering, Nangaba. But now they've seen, and that's why even when he's losing in those areas, he's losing with grace.
The social welfare programs?
Yes, losing with grace. And I think that is one of the reasons why, in answering your question now, that's one of the reasons why President Hichilema is losing, but losing with dignity. I remember one Olympic game where Zambia played, I think, against Brazil or something. We lost, I think, 7-0 or something. You can lose 1-0 and 10-0. You've lost, but the shame in losing by 10 goes to nil is more compared to, just a goal.
But perhaps let's reword the word shame, because here, Paul, we're not shaming, what word would you use?
No. I know you're very diplomatic.
It's very diplomatic.
You must be very good with a female folk because
wait a minute. You're spinning. You're spinning, but you see, because of civility.
There you go.
I understand where you're coming from. I am in that aspect, and maybe that's the reason why. Now me like you quite a lot.
Wow. And Rhoda is smiling.
No, she also chooses to add zero. It's evident. Right? It's coming from his language. He's got that language, that his language. So maybe that's the reason why, President Hichilema is losing with grace. Wallace Mundubile is losing terribly.
Terribly, I like the word. Now, that's a wordsmith, terribly.
Terribly. Is it terribly? I know we'll be winding up on this, but some people would argue, Paul, that is it terribly if he could be able to secure close to 40% of the parliamentary seat? Isn't that a huge achievement?
And that, by the way, it's the first time in the history of Zambian election that a new entrant in election gets this number of parliamentary seats.
Wow.
First time in the history of Zambian politics that a new participant on the ballot, a new format. I said it yesterday. Ask even some journalists, ask them, what does NRPUP stand for?
Even himself may not answer. I'm just, but so then, Paul, can we rephrase our way to say he's losing fairly?
Right.
Because we said terribly. Now with this narrative that
not presidential level, I think is losing terribly in terms of the stronghold of President HH. At parliamentary level, he's doing well because if you check how many seats, constituencies is winning at presidential level, be able to understand that he's actually doing well. Let me just read, to you so in terms at presidential level, 69 constituencies are being won by HH, 66 by Mondwe. 3 constituencies different at presidential level. That is neck to neck. That is neck to neck. But what is happening is a difference.
Yes.
The difference. Otherwise, Mondwe has done so well, and just that sometimes we fail to fathom how the results turn out. But if I were him, I'll be very proud of my performance thus far.
H called them the boys. So what the boys have achieved in less than 100 days is admirable.
The boys, we're talking about millions. He's also having million votes, 1 million so far. I think that is something that deserves commendation. And great performance thus far, but also a huge congratulations to the FND for also ensuring that they maintain their strongholds, but also gain strength in the non-stronghold areas and get some very good votes there.
Right. So could we commend the boys then for giving Zambia that alternative Kizito?
Yes, indeed. We call them the alternative government, but also it means that Zambia will have checks and balances, because Naomi, when you have numbers in parliament, you can say no to things that are not progressive. Sometimes politicians have a tendency to bring in certain things that may advantage them and not look at successive generations. So we look at a very consolidated parliament that will have diverse views. But for now we go for a break, Naomi, so that when we come back we can go deep into some conversations that are lined up for you.
After a long day of spreadsheets, traffic, and people saying circle back, Twambo just wants to stream his favorite show. But of course, his subscription expired. Good thing he's got the Airtel Money Global Pay Card for his global subscriptions. One tap and he's back in business. No panic, no drama. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your global pay card details, CVV, and expiry date. That's it. Show back on. Subscription paid. Couch life activated. Be like Twambo. Get your global pay card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Meet Suilanji, curious, creative, always learning. New skills, global trends, she's in on it. Design or tech, she's exploring the best international options. And with the Airtel Money Global Pay Card, paying is the easy part. One quick tap and she's learning from the best. No stress, no visa, no problem. Even her parents are getting in on it. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your global pay card details, CVV, and expiry date, and that's it. Be like Suilanji. Get your global pay card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Say hello to the new Blue Band with vanilla. Double the yum with classic Blue Band flavor and rich creamy vanilla taste. New Blue Band with vanilla, the taste you love plus vanilla. Now available in stores countrywide.
This is Mwamba, the deco queen. She turns spaces from mayo to wow. She could fly to China for new products, but why pick jet lag when you've got the Airtel Money Global Pay Card? No flights, no visas, just browse, pay, done. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your global pay card details, CVV, and expiry date. Simple. Be like Mwamba. Get your global pay card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, border.
Meet Mundia. He ditched the 9-to-5 to build his brand. And yeah, he's crushing it. With the Airtel Money Global Pay Card, he's not just buying ad space, he's building hype. He pays for ads the same way he sells most of his shoes. Online, fast, and always on. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your global pay card details, CVV, and expiry date. That's it. The Airtel Money Global Pay Card, that's what keeps it moving. Be like Mundia. Get your global pay card in the Airtel Money section.
Hello, good morning, and welcome once again to the Daybreak Special live program on the Prime TV and PTV2 Zambia. Welcome. My name is Catherine, and I'm joined by my colleague, Rhoda. Rhoda, welcome.
Thank you so much, Kathy. Good morning to you.
Yes, and we're joining Paul, who's been on set with you. But just to remind you that we are broadcasting on Topstar Channel 110, DSTV Channel 273, and GoTV Channel 94, and streaming worldwide on Facebook and YouTube. As you know, we've been talking about elections because it's been election season, and we've been bringing you these special programs from the 10th of August 2026 until today, when we expect the final results and declaration of the winner. Paul, you have been on set. Welcome. I mean, I always welcome you, but I forget that you should be the one to welcome us.
Welcome, Patty.
Thank you. It's really good to see you.
Yeah, I did. Indeed.
Yeah.
It's good to see you too, even as we continue to wait for 11 hours update by the Electoral Commission of Zambia today. Get to announce additional constituencies, and of course expect that before the end of the day we should have the winner declared so that we can get this past us.
Absolutely. And I almost said, you know, there's a lot that happened over the weekend we'll get to unpack, but I forgot that over the weekend we're here as well.
You guys,
we
you
haven't
know,
rested.
The way I think about you, I think in the next elections, you guys can be even, you know, even, what can I say? You should be at the ECZ because you've got so much knowledge now about elections. You've analyzed all the aspects that have been going on.
And I'll see the results. Pule Daniel, 0.
The pressure. Yeah. So anyway, we have lots to talk about today. And Paul, we're just saying that, you know, we're expecting the final results to be announced and the declaration of the winner. Are we ready?
Yeah, I don't know whether Zambians are ready. Social media is amok. It's not, that doesn't even look healthy at all. Them versus us kind of arrangement, mockery. And that's a challenge with the Zambians. They mock the losers. You know, they should learn from Manchester United fans. When that little club called Arsenal is losing, we just remind them that they are small. That's why they are losing. You know, we don't mock them. Just remind them that, look, Arsenal, you're too small.
Yeah.
You know, to play against the mighty Manchester United. You know, we don't mock them. Maybe they should learn from there. But if you see what's happening, you wonder whether we are ready. Because one of the things people are afraid of is Balatu Seka. Shouldn't be like that. Shouldn't be like that. No, Balatu Seka. Balatu Kaka. No. Election should not, like, you know, someone says, a place where you mwabika po imikoshi. Like Bino said. Mwabika po imikoshi. Imikoshi. I don't think it should get to that level. So for me, That's a point that makes me get worried, whether we are ready to receive whether the praises or the backlash or the criticism, regardless of where where you're seated. People have so much to say to mock the others.
And I do agree with Paul, not only mocking, but obviously we've seen people go as far as threatening other people in the comments, making videos, you know, just because you are not in support of this particular candidate does not mean that you need to, you know, threaten other people or insult other people. And I'm so glad that you actually brought that out. But we always emphasize that there's life after elections. You know, after the results are announced, life goes on, and you know, obviously we need to pick it up from there and just accept whatever outcome you know, comes out of this election. And also just to remind people that you also need to desist from sharing false information, because in as much as the Electoral Commission of Zambia has been announcing results, I've seen that some individuals obviously have gone on social media to, you know, put their own numbers and to just want to start up a conversation where people are arguing in the comment section for the numbers. But also, let's just wait for the official results and keep following as the ECZ keeps announcing the official results.
Indeed, and also look, if some of these comments people are making, I saw a Facebook post by Chela Tukuta. And I'm sharing this, I'm mentioning his name because he ought not to post such things, indicating and posted a picture of the musicians, Chester and the others, says, if any club will hire these to perform, we shall close those to my clubs. Why?
In what capacity?
In what capacity, Mr. Tukuta? In what capacity? In their own country. So even if the UPND wins, that's not the reason why you issue such threats. Then must we remind them that that's one of the reasons why in 2021 the Zambians kicked out the Patriotic Front from office. Because these are things that were making Zambians feel less Zambian in their own country. Where you're afraid to even wear some colors in your own country. We don't have any other country. Maybe others have got dual citizenship. Mafia Lubana, you know,
they run to there.
Kathy might go to another country where, you know, where she came from, or Rhoda might go to Tanzania, you know. But we only have one country, and regardless of how the results move today, we should still regard even the people that will lose, you know, that, oh, they are still Zambians, but this is democracy. We're in a democratic state, and you win some, you lose some.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's been an interesting turn out of events over this period. And we have a lot of people that have actually, you know, expressed their views, including members of the opposition, like Makepi, you know, Zulu, who issued a statement yesterday, you know, and he was talking about several things that he feels like should be addressed. And maybe the director can help us with a clip of that so we can, you know, have a look before we delve into discussion.
Fellow question and actually resolved through polling station by polling station reconciliation against original Gen 20 forms. The situation in Matero. The happenings in Matero provide an example of the wider irregularities being reported across the country. We have received allegations there ranging from alteration of results and interference by security agencies to threats and pressure directed at returning officers and other electoral officials. Matero cannot simply be treated as an isolated local dispute. When similar allegations are being received from different parts of the country, they must be investigated collectively to determine whether there is a broader pattern of interference with the electoral process. No returning officer should have to choose between personal safety and the faithful discharge of a constitutional and statutory duty. Southern Province turnout requires explanation. We are further concerned by reported turnout figures in Southern Province, particularly what appears to be a significant movement from figures of below 50% to approximately 70% turnout. Such a substantial change requires transparent explanation and reconciliation against the underlying polling station records. We do not ask Zambians to accept allegations merely because they are being made. Equally, the country should not be expected to accept unexplained figures simply because they have been announced. ECZ should publish the relevant polling station figures, registered voter numbers, votes cast, and corresponding Gen 20 forms so that the reported turnout can be independently reconciled against the records that existed at the polling station at the time of voting. If the figures are legitimate, transparency will confirm that. If there are discrepancies, transparency will expose them. ECZ must stop threatening accredited agents at Mulungushi. We are deeply concerned by reports that ECZ is threatening our duly accredited agents at the Mulungushi International Conference Center with withdrawal of their accreditation when they raise questions or challenge aspects of the verification and tallying process. This must stop. Our agents are not at Mulungushi as spectators, ceremonial observers, or passengers. They are participants in the electoral process. Their presence has meaning only if they are allowed to examine, question, challenge, and seek clarification regarding the figures and procedures being presented before them. An accredited agent must be permitted to question a result that appears in the system.
Well, of course, those were the issues raised by Maccabi, but colleagues, I think one of the issues that has really come up is the voting patterns in Southern Province, which he alludes to, and he says that he doesn't understand how the voting moved from 50% to 70%. But this has also ignited a lot of discussions around the topic, and people are asking, is this about regional loyalty? Others have raised concern about tribal voting, and others label this as too simplistic. Now, the question we're asking is, could voters instead be responding to party history, candidate appeal, policy, incumbency, local development, identity, or a combination of these factors? And Paul, let me ask you now, what do you think is the responsible way to analyze the situation?
Yeah, I think let's get back to numbers, in answering your question, Kathy. The big question really, and I think it's a genuine question, when you see the numbers, the regional voting, the strongholds, the differences. Look at Central Province, as an example. Look at the difference between HH and Mundubile. 120 HH, 61, that's half. Look at Copperbelt, 73, 129. 129 for Mundubile, 73 for HH. Look at the East, half. It's like the entire province, half is for the other one. 162,000 against 307 for Brian Mundubile. Look at Wapula. Look at the votes President Hichilema has gotten in Wapula. 61,000 against Mundubile's 141,000. Lusaka seems to be, cosmopolitan. Seems to be matured in terms of votes because only 10,000 difference. HH 137, Mundubile 127. 137, Mundubile 127. Muchinga, look at the difference in terms of Muchinga. 60 against 125,000 of Mundubile. Now look at Northwestern Province, for example. 4,200 going to Mundubile against 125,000 for HH. And look at Southern, the big one that people are talking about. Only 20,000 against 5 20,000 against 5. That has created a difference because the difference between HH and Mundubile is about 500,000. 500,000 plus difference. The question is this loyalty? Is this tribalism? You look at these two sides and look at how they are faring in terms of the rest of the presidential candidates. If you look at Aga in HLM, of course, standing at 58% with 1.5 million, Mundubile at 1 million at 39%, and the rest, just like the way it was in 2021, 0%, 0.4, 0.5. I'm impressed with KBF, by the way. I didn't expect KBF to do better than Fred Membe. He was not as loud as Fred Membe, but he has performed way better thus far, actually competing with Harry Kalaba. KBF competing with Harry Kalaba? There must be something KBF is doing right, by the way. And there's something wrong Kalaba must be doing. Kalaba is not the first time he's on the presidential ballot. He was there in 2021 and continues to be there. Fred Membe also was there. So to have a new entrant wallop you like this, I think there's something concerning. But let me get back to the aspect of regional or tribal or loyalty. Two sides to look at this from. First component, Kathy Roda, is the aspect of loyalty. My view and my interaction, and I lived in a peri-urban area, with a lot of Southerners. One of the things you cannot dispute is the fact that the Tongas are very loyal to one another. Very loyal to one another. Dispute it all you want. Do you know, Kathy, that if you're Tonga, a new staff is employed at Prime, you even start speaking Tonga, the two of you, when you are together? I'm sure it's not strange. That's how loyal. It's like losses. You start speaking. You actually become good friends. A new staff gets employed and finds a fellow Tonga. They are very loyal to one another. They have their back. They never disappoint one another. They support one another. For me, that's the first lens we look at. Behave. These are very loyal to even that's why sometimes people talk about jobs they're giving, because they look out for one another. They are like the capitalist nigger. One of the principles in that book that helps the Indian community to thrive, they would even agree, this street, let's buy off the houses so that it's only us in this road. That's how loyal they can be. Same characteristics is what we see. So when you see them voting for their own, is it tribalism at play? Or is loyalty at play? Let me read an article that someone wrote. I belong in some WhatsApp group. And because I've never mentioned, I'll not mention the person that wrote the name. But there's something he wrote. He shared. It's a Christian group. He says, when loyalty is mistaken for tribalism. In my opinion, that's the article, I think some people are mistaking loyalty for tribalism or regionalism in these elections. Look at the Tongas and Lozes. Regardless of whether they feel that enough development has reached their provinces, they still turned out in large numbers and gave President HH their votes. To me, that is not necessarily tribalism. It can also be understood as loyalty and appreciation for someone they believe in. President HH is clearly a deeply disliked figure in some quarters, but I believe we should also be fair enough to acknowledge some of the things he has done, including in regions where the political reward has not always followed. He gave an example in that. He says, take Chingola on the Copper Belt, for example. When the market caught fire, the president personally stepped in to compensate affected marketeers. He also empowered young people in Chingola with 4 million kwacha.
When did that happen? Though?
That time the market was gutted. Remember the stoning incident when he was being stoned? That's a point when he went to actually announce that he's giving the marketeers money, compensating them. With 4 million kwacha and supported them with access to dump sites for mining activities. Yet, look at how Chingola has responded on the ballot. This raises a genuine question. How good does someone have to be before we are willing to vote for him? It's one side of the coin. That, because the question also is, when Mundubile is doing well in Muchinga, in Lwapula, look at the difference. Let's have that on the screen, so I validate my point. If look at the differences in Muchinga, look at the difference between the votes HH has gotten in Lwapula, not this one, the other one. Look at the difference in terms of votes. Look at Muchinga, for example. You can even begin from Lwapula. 61,000 have gone to HH. Mundubile, 141,000. Look at Muchinga. 60,000 for HH. 125,000 for Mundubile. Look at Northern Province. 66,000 for HH. 110. Why aren't we saying they're being tribal?
All right, maybe Kathy, you can also come in on the matter.
Yeah.
I know you've got a lot of things
Yeah,
that you want
Kathy.
to say, but what is what are your thoughts on this issue?
Yeah, I think that you know, it's true in some point that maybe what you've talked about loyalty, but it also brings a matter of concern, because when you look at the differences in those areas, you find that even the other president or aspiring candidate has some votes, and at least you can explain the difference. It's not as huge as the margins that we've seen, not just now, but in the previous elections in Southern Province. And I think it raises concern because if we continue with this trend, we will call it loyalty. But imagine Northern Province begins to do the same thing, and we just vote for, you know, if a leader is coming from Southern Province, we say, oh, we were just going to vote for this one particular person and not give him any votes. You know, it's like you have a piece of cake and we want to share, and you say, no, this is for myself. And I'm saying that because leaders have been campaigning like that, you know, mostly trying to divide and segment the electorate. So in Southern Province, we know for a fact that opposition didn't go there, for example, and we only have the city government that and the UPND who managed to get there. So that raises a question, don't you think?
And I stated here that last week I did state here that Brian Mundubile will regret not going to Southern Province. I stated here. And I shared this on my Facebook page, and people criticize me that no, we'll see. People have already decided who to vote for. That it doesn't matter the Southern vote. The difference there is 500,000. And that is the difference right now in terms of consolidated votes between Mundubile and the church. 500,000. Arguably, you can say it's the votes from Southern. The failure to go there validated the point that you believe they are not your people.
But also, do you think if he went there to campaign at some point, numbers would be different?
Definitely. That numbers are going to be different. Why? Look at Northwestern Province. He went there. Have you seen the numbers? Have you seen the numbers? No, let's go back to the numbers. Let's go back to the numbers. Look at Northwestern Province directors. You see that on the screen. He went there, had some good rallies. You know, they called them what? Mega rallies. I don't know what the director is beginning with this one. We'll not call it for the other one. But look, it's the other one that's showing the provinces. Look at Northwestern Province. Mundubile has gotten 4,265.
Against 1,000.
Against 125.
That's still a big margin.
Yeah, but look at the difference between them and Southern.
But also,
look at Southern. 597. Honestly.
Yeah, Paul, but
honestly, look at the margin, Kathy.
Yeah, Paul.
That's a huge
I
one.
want to ask you a question because it's not only Mundubile who's failed to go to Southern Province, even Lungu. I think the last people that we remember campaigning there was Rupia and Saka. I guess because
Edgar Lungu went to Southern Province in 2021.
He did.
He was incumbent. Actually, yes, he went there.
Okay.
Yes.
So the thing is, though, that this year it was difficult because of the violence that was going on, and we know that they were really being hashed. They were, for example, attacking even people from their own province. So it made it very difficult for the opposition to want to go there because of the pockets of violence.
Yeah, but I've
reported.
stated, that if you want to win the presidency, don't sideline any province, especially a province, and I stated here, especially a province that had 1.1 registered million voters. 1.1 million registered voters. You want to avoid speaking to 1.1 million? No, then you're not politically astute.
But Paul, you're missing the point of
Yeah.
violence. Why don't you address
Violence
that?
was everywhere. Even in Northwestern Province was violence. So why didn't you also fail not to go to Northwestern Province?
That's where it started from.
Western Province, he went there. But Southern, a province with 1.1 million? Even when Matembi shares in that briefing that they will investigate, you failed to go there to campaign, but you want to investigate the votes coming from there.
So it's not tribal. It's not tribal.
You failed to go to campaign in Southern. But you want to investigate the votes coming from there. I think it's hypocritical.
I do agree. Well, sometimes it could be, tribal. Paul, we cannot also run away from that fact that, sometimes it's just tribal because this is our person and we know him. Let's just agree on that sometimes. But also I feel like the other day we were talking about how people sometimes are loyal to their members of parliament because maybe that's the only person they know. And I think it happens in that regard when people are voting for a president as well in some of these areas because you only know that person and you've been voting for that person for so long. And probably because the other candidates did not go there to campaign, the people just don't know.
No, but also the issue is
they have heard probably of Brian Mundubile and other candidates, but they do not know or did not speak to that person, or they did not get a chance to even get to see them at rallies. So probably it's just the mindset that sometimes people have to say, this is the only person we know and we are going to vote for them.
the question, Rhoda, in trying to get to your point, he says sometimes you just have to agree that it's tribal.
Yes.
If we have to agree that the voting pattern in Southern Province is a sign of tribalism, can we then agree that the huge margin between Mundubile and HH in Southern is because of tribalism, but the huge margin between Mundubile and HH in Northern Muchinga Wapula is not tribalism? They are not objective.
Like I said, to some extent, it is.
So can we say the people in Northern are also tribal?
To some extent.
Can we say the people in Wapula? Because look at this, look at the numbers.
Yeah, I think the trend has definitely
So meaning Zambians are tribal. So it's not about a region. It means all of us.
That's exactly what we are saying. That if we continue on this trend, this is exactly what it's going to become, tribal. And what is worrying is that during campaign, we saw that politicians wanted to ride on this aspect to say, this province, these are my people. When we go to somewhere, they'll stone us. As people, we should stick together. That kind of message is already separating what these are and what these are not. So what I think we should do is not encourage tribal politics.
Directors, just that. Look at the votes.
11 presidential results between the Patriotic Front and the UPND so that we compare, at least we...
2011? But yeah.
Let's have a look at that if the directors can bring that on screen. Look at that.
Northern Province 2011 presidential result between PF and the UPND. Lukasha sat at 19,000, HH at 155. Malole sat at 28,000, HH at 2005. Lubansenshi sat at 8,000, HH at 77. Mbala sat at 12,000, HH at 274. Kanchibiya sat at 13,000, wow, HH didn't perform well. So can we then say that the people in Northern are very tribal?
But now we're seeing that tribe is this country.
I wanted to get your thoughts, Rhoda and Kathy, on Eastern Province, and let's have that, directors. Look at Eastern Province. Mundubile is not from the East. HH is not from the East. Look at the voting. Look at the voting pattern in directors quickly. Let's have that on the screen. In terms of how the people of the Eastern Province did vote, you see also in terms of the differences of the votes from what President HH got and also what Brian Mundubile got. The other document, that's the one we're referring to more often. Maybe that's the one you can have quite closer.
Can you highlight at least?
Yes, not this one. Not this one. The other document. Yes, this one. I think let's have that quite close, directors. Yeah. Look at Eastern Province. Eastern Province, HH has gotten 162,000. Mundubile has gotten 307,000. That's half. Is that tribalism at play?
Well, we know for a fact that Makebi Zulu is from Eastern Province.
So it's tribalism at play.
Loyalty there.
So where do we draw the line between loyalty and tribalism?
I think one aspect I would say is that we need to be careful, because what we are supposed to be doing is analyzing issues based on what is going on, according to what we need Zambia to be, to develop how and who is the right candidate for that. I think when we bring in the aspect of, I'm loyal to this one, whether they are bad, they are doing wrong, I am loyal to this one, then we're missing the point.
Loyalty is not important?
It is not when it comes.
It's not important.
You know what?
Yeah.
It is important for those within a political party that are ascribing to an ideology. But as a Zambian, ideologies are second class to me, because I want to focus on what it takes for Zambia to develop. And I have to look at the candidate and say, what is this one saying? What is this one saying? I am a northerner, and this one is from Southern Province. But what he's saying and what he's doing, I think if we go with this person, the tribe, it should be based on the character of my household. If my dad is saying something that is wrong, I should be able to say, Dad, this is wrong. And if my neighbor is saying something that is right, I should say, Dad, I think you should consider what that one is saying, because, for example...
Who's not even coming to me?
Pardon?
Who's not even coming to me to campaign? So how will I even know that? How will I even make a choice?
Well, you know what? It's in my best interest, because if I see, and I think we are not talking about things that we haven't seen. We have seen how violent... we saw pictures of that guy, the musician who was axed. That is not right. And if it takes me staying away to prevent such kind of things, I will. Because if they had gone there, we don't know if we would have been talking.
That's an assumption.
Assumptions are good. To make analysis, assumptions are good. We do make decisions based on assumptions.
As someone said, assumption is the least form of knowledge. You don't assume that, no, maybe Rhoda might not be a good girlfriend for me before you even date her. First date her, then you might know whether she Rhoda.
So if you see poor Rhoda is violent in her current relationship, and you witness,
I shouldn't judge her.
When you witness,
shouldn't judge her.
Rhoda hitting the boyfriend, and then you want to go there and say,
maybe the boyfriend was provoking.
Oh wow.
Maybe I'll be a gentle. Maybe I'll be a gentleman to her, and she'll never even raise it.
Okay, but colleagues, maybe the question that we can ask now is, your thoughts. What can be done to change this narrative? Because I feel like it's from what we have said, it's very hard to change somebody's way of thinking.
Yes, Musute is saying, how do they justify that?
He's not popular.
How do you justify that?
Maybe now people are voting, and that's good. That's really good, because we see that if he is from Southern Province and they do not vote for him, maybe the people are actually considering the fact that he hasn't been doing what they expected him to do.
So it's not tribalism, because if it's tribalism, then Siamune should actually do better than Mundubile in Southern Province. But no, Mundubile has done better than Siamune Etonga in Southern Province. Why?
Let's also face it that if we are talking about issues of
That's
being
former
tribal.
MP in Southern Province,
The
by the
most popular, Tonga person that we could see there is President Hakainde Hichilema.
No, but look, Rhoda, Siamunene is former Sinazongwe member of parliament in Southern Province, former minister, former defense minister. The people remember him very well. He's not a newbie in politics. Actually, he has more experience than Mundubile. He was a cabinet minister. Mundubile has never been a cabinet minister. And yet, a Tonga has been beaten in terms of votes by Brian Mundubile in Southern Province. If it's tribalism, why didn't the Tonga people also give more votes to Siamunene than Mundubile?
So I think, again, my point really, as I think I remember you and I discussed here on the set, and I said, sometimes there's a lot that happens that people can't really tell. In Southern Province, I don't believe that everybody there just supports the UPND because they are Tonga and everything. I feel like there are people there that don't vote for UPND, as we have seen that even Mundubile has some votes. And we are seeing that some candidates from the UPND are failing, which means that it's not everyone. And we say that it's the UPND themselves that want to even peddle the tribalism issue very much.
I think it's unfair, Kathy, to put that on the UPND.
I think,
or maybe an addition.
Also, if you remember, the president said, you people here should not vote for those people because people, us here in Southern Province, when we go to Lusaka, and this is a very popular statement that everybody looks at, if we go to Lusaka, people will stone us at the back at the bus station because we're coming from Southern Province. What kind of a statement is that, and what do you think people will begin to think? And for to their advantage, and we as a people have to be careful.
So generally then,
yeah,
we are saying that Zambians are tribal.
Maybe also an addition could be, colleagues, don't you think also it's loyalty to the party and not the individual or the tribe? Because when you talk about, you asked the question about, Siamunene, and I think maybe one of the reasons why people did not vote for him, it could be that he betrayed, the Tonga people when he left UPND while he was a member of parliament in Sinazongwe.
Exactly my point, that maybe it's loyalty at play to being to the party, being mistaken for tribalism.
Yes.
Being mistaken.
That one I agree
for
with
tribalism. That the Tonga people are loyal to the party. It's like in 1991 when MMD lost to when UNIP lost to MMD, to Frederick Chiluba. You know that MMD won by 74% in 1991, and UNIP managed to maintain 40 members of parliament in Eastern Province. Eastern Province was so loyal to UNIP that even 10 years later, they were still having seats in Eastern Province.
Even now, someone wanted to register on a unique card.
So, loyalty.
Yeah.
That's not tribalism, right? That's loyalty at play.
Yeah.
To the party.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a conversation.
Exactly.
And maybe that's why we should refrain from calling people tribal. Maybe let's call them loyal. And maybe they're too loyal to the party and being blinded by the loyalty to other options which may be better than their institutions. Because I have always stated, for me, right, for as long as I like experiencing where people are too loyal to the institution, that even if the person is not making sense, because look, I have been in Southern Province, different parts of Southern Province. There's nothing to say to wow you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wow. There's this now in Southern Province because HH is president. There's nothing to wow you. I've been to Monze, I've been to Mazabuka, I've been to Choma, I've been to Wengwa. There's nothing to say, wow. In the last 4 years, life is it's different from Arabi. People will tell you, when Arabi became president, the 3 years from 2008 to 2011, Chipata changed. The tarmacs that we saw in Eastern Province and Arabi were palpable, evident. flaws of infrastructure during RB's tenure, very evident. But despite the lack of, in quote unquote, so much tangible development in Southern Province, the people are still loyal to the UPND. So maybe it's not tribalism, Kathy.
Yeah, you know, like I said, you can only be loyal if you are in a political party, because then you are supporting the ideologies. And mostly what happens with ideologies is people support them without even thinking. You know, people who supported Marxism, they just support. They don't even want to question what it is. So I feel like that is exactly what, now that you've said it, it makes sense. And yeah, truly, maybe.
So it's not tribalism.
I think so. Because if you put it in that context, if you put it in the context that people are loyal to the party, we can agree on that. Because that's what, like I said, people, if you're in a political party, you can be loyal and you'll be excused. But if you step out and become an ordinary Zambian who their potential to deliver, then you will not be loyal, because then you'll be looking at the best candidate. And I think I had a point that I wanted to talk about, and I think it's to the UPND also, that in the 2021 elections, they were boasting of a 1 million votes.
Yes, difference.
And now you see that loyalty you're talking about, you're educating us about. What it has done is that in areas where they don't want to, they did, there was low voter turnout. You know what happened? They chose not to vote for anybody.
Yeah.
But they stayed home because we saw that the queues were really short. By the time they were closing, some polling station didn't have anyone. And they say, if it's not this one, then we don't even want to vote. You know, or maybe they are boycotting something. But going forward, they should be worried, because from 1 million to 500 is also sending a message.
Yeah. The 1 million was not from one province, you know, and we still have 91 constituencies yet to be announced. The 1 million was consolidated across the country, and the 500 itself also is consolidated across the 135 constituencies.
In Southern Province.
Yes, across the country, 135 constituencies across the country.
Yeah.
That's a difference.
So are we able to compare what happened in 2021 in Southern Province to the current?
We'll get those figures and maybe before we end the show and show how the numbers were. But there are some good questions for you on the page, for you, Rhoda, and Kathy. Bokan Kosha says the ladies don't know what they're saying. The issue of tribalism is not an issue here. NRPUP didn't campaign in Southern Province, but they expect to get good votes there. Brian Malupenga is saying, is that lady a journalist or a politician? I think the question is related to you, Kathy. Are you a politician?
I'm both. I'm a political scientist and a journalist. Yeah.
So, also, another comment, Priska on the page says, that lady is purely from the other camp. Why hasn't she mentioned Mr. Kambwiri's tribal remarks towards the Tonga people, who doesn't know how people being beaten and harassed by just wearing a red t-shirt?
Yeah, I feel like I've been trying to say that we don't want leaders who will issue tribal remarks, whether they are from the opposition or the ruling party. Because if we're not careful, this tribal issue is going to be very big and we'll fail to contain it. So for me, I'm not really supporting any party. If Kambwiri said that, he should be held accountable to those remarks.
Yes.
If HH or anybody says something tribal, we should. That's why I think I used to say journalists should not cover anybody who utters a tribal remark. They should be of the news, because we don't want people to align with tribalism. But it's one Zambia, one nation.
Indeed, you can also let us know your thoughts anyway on our Facebook page. You know, the various numbers we are getting in terms of voting patterns in Southern Province, in Northwestern Province. The disparity between Mundwile and HH is quite huge, and the big question is that a sign of loyalty or a sign of tribal voting, regional voting? And I think we have shared our thoughts. I think we've made a conclusion, Kathy, Rhoda, that it is loyalty at play.
Loyalty to the party.
To the party, being, sidelining, objectivity, because you're too loyal to the party that you can't even interrogate properly whether the party is doing something right or not.
So even the people in northern Lapula, Muchinga, they're being loyal to the PF quote in court under NRPUP and not thinking of alternatives.
If there's some that work like that, definitely we'll say that.
Right.
We have our reporter Christopher Basilio Banda, who's ready right now in Eastern Province for the latest parliamentary results, reactions, and the mood in their respective provinces. Good morning, Christopher.
Good morning, Amanda.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Hello, good morning, Christopher.
Yes, good morning, I can hear you.
Okay. Kindly update on what the atmosphere is like this morning. Are tensions rising, or are people largely going about their business peacefully?
Well, thank you so much. I think here in Sparta, the situation is calm, and life has gone back to normalcy. People are going back to their usual businesses, and the situation is calm, and everything is back to normal.
Okay, so now, which parliamentary seats have been declared so far, and what are the major political gains or losses emerging from Eastern Province?
Okay, I think just like we have seen in other areas, Eastern Province, there are also a number of casualties in terms of people that have lost their positions, especially members of parliament. There are a number of them that are not coming back to parliament for the upcoming session. We are seeing new faces, to take over from those that have lost. Among the key figures that have lost this particular election include the immediate past Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Ruben Toropiri, who was he stood at a negotiated Sparta with the landslide, and Mr. Toropiri came second with about slightly above 5,000 votes. So another key figure that has stumbled in this particular election is the immediate past, Minister of Green Economy, Honorable Mike Imposha, who was also member of parliament for Munali. This time around, he came to stand at his home area in Malambo East, and Mr. Imposha has lost to a young lady, Faith Lungu, who contested as an independent candidate. Another minister that has also, lost is, the former Minister of Eastern Province and also the chairman for UPND in Eastern Province, Honorable Peter Simon Perry, who contested in Malambo West, and this time around he has lost to a new face, Honorable Patrick Mwale of NRPUP. So this completes the list of that have in Eastern Province. So other MPs that will not be going back to Parliament this coming session, those that were members of Parliament in the past 5 years, Jonathan Daka was member of Parliament for Chadiza, and this time around he has lost to another new face, Mr. Obed Piri. And former Vubwi MP Akre Obanda has also lost to Honorable Margaret Miti. Honorable Margaret Miti was once a member of parliament for Vubwi under the PF administration, and she has come back. Also in Kapoche constituency, Lakson Lungu has lost to Enoch Kaimba of Resolute Party. In Milanzi, Meresiana Piri has also lost. Melesiana had contested NRPUP, and she has lost to an independent candidate who is the former councillor and deputy council chairperson for Katete, Mr. Lumanki Ozulu. So these are some of the people that have lost seats in Eastern Province, including Kaumbwe, former MP, Engineer Aaron Mwanza has also lost. In Lumezi, the Honorable Rufia Ngoma, who won the by-election in February, has lost to the former council chairperson for Lumezi, Mr. Oliver Mwale. In Nyimba, Honorable Menyan Zulu has also lost. So these are some of the members of parliament that have lost seats, and we are seeing new faces, coming in. So maybe just to mention the list of MPs that have so far been declared as winners in this particular election. Sparta Central, we have George Mwanza of UPND. In Tasefu South, we have Honorable. In Chipangari East, we have Honorable Andrew Rusha. He has also come back. In Ruangeni, Honorable Moses Moyo is back. In Tangazi, we are seeing a new face, Honorable Douglas Mungu of UPND. Then in Sinda, Honorable Masao Ketembo has also come back to Parliament. Then in Kapoti, we have a new face, Enoch Kaimba. In Sanzala, Nelson Banda. Malambo West, Patrick Mwale. Chama North, we have Benson Jovu. Then in Chama Central, we have Yota Mutachalo Venera PUP, who has also come back to Parliament. In Sparta North, Jackson Goma. In Kaika, we have a new face, Honorable Mustafa Banda. Kadiza West, Honorable Pili. Umeli South, Oliver Mwale. Lindazi, we have Honorable Brenda Mirenda, who produced, more votes for NRPUP at presidential, both presidential and as an MP. Kapenengwa, Honorable Freeman Kwasa has come back. In Nimba, we have a new face, Honorable Maxton Kapanta, who is coming to Parliament. In Nimba North, we have a new face, Paul Lungu, while in Vubwe, Honorable Margaret Miti is coming back to Parliament. So those that have won under independent, we have Malambo East, Tet Lungu, Lumanki Ozulu, Mianzi constituency, Sowan Kipeta has won as an independent candidate in Tasef North. Then Gerrit Sintata South, Honorable Vincent Mwale, Chipangari West, and Kaumbwe South Chamber. Honorable Vincent Mwale, I think you remember Honorable Vincent Mwale, former Minister of Infrastructure and Housing. He has come back to Parliament. He was Member of Parliament for Chipangari for about to begin his new term for the newly created Chipangari West constituency. So in terms of declarations of members of Parliament, these are the members of Parliament that have been declared in Eastern Province.
Thank you so much for that update, Basilio. But we also want to find out, have losing candidates, generally considered defeat, or are some indicating that they intend to challenge the results?
For now, I've interacted with one. These others, as usual, therefore, I tried to call the losing candidate for Sparta North, Honorable Ruben Torotiri. The phone was not answered. I also called Honorable Peter Simon Piri, who also never responded to. But the losing candidate for Sparta Central, Ruth Grant Piri, yesterday held the press briefing in the evening where she is still disputing the results for Sparta North. I mean Sparta Central, because Sparta Central was tightly contested, and George Mwanza of UPND won with only 154 votes margin. So Ruth Granfield last evening held a press briefing where she indicated that she's not accepting the results and she's challenging the results. She will take further actions to challenge the results because we suspect that there are numbers that different from suspicious, which are not adding up to the numbers which so she's literally creating a challenge to the results, disputing what was announced by ECZ.
Okay, and what are ordinary people telling you? Are they satisfied with the process, or are there concerns that are being raised?
I think so far, the ordinary people, we haven't heard much of complaints on the results from ordinary people. I think they are satisfied with that of, incident because there were a number of monitors that monitor these elections. The police agents that were present during the counting and the announcement of these results. So we haven't read, general membership complaining about it is just the politicians that are trying to insinuate that the results are not, some of the results are fake, like the Olympic Grand has indicated that there are numbers from suspicious polling stations that are not adding up. So, but from the general membership, I think the general public, I think we haven't heard much of complaints on the results.
Thank you so much, Christopher, for your unwavering effort throughout this election period. Please do remain on standby. If anything significant develops, we will definitely reconnect you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, dear viewers, there you have it from the Eastern Province. Our reporter, Christopher Basilio Banda, simply just giving us an update of what is currently happening in Eastern Province, and also some parliamentary seats that have been scooped, and also that, some that were standing as members of parliament have not been satisfied with the results, and so they want, certain things to be clarified. But you're still watching our Daybreak special. For now, we take a short break. We'll be back on the other side. Stay tuned.
Rajesh Michael Simiza in Northern Province to give us an update on what has been going on there. Rajesh, welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you, Rhoda. How are you doing there?
Good morning. We're all doing well. Thank you. This is Catherine. Rhoda, Rajesh is saying hi to you.
Oh, hi, Rajesh. Good morning.
Hi, Catherine. Hi, Rhoda. Your voices are sounding similar, so I...
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So, Rajesh, we just wanted to find out this morning what the atmosphere in Northern Province is like.
Okay, so Northern Province has been largely peaceful since the day of the polls to this very day, although there have been some reports here and there of security or any fears among the residents. So Northern Province has just really been suspension of the counting and announcements of the votes, where we did see that some businesses came to steal. Probably some business owners had different thoughts about what was going to happen. We did see that ShopRite store was somewhat closed early that particular day. But however, the day that followed, everything was moving smoothly, businesses running. in especially here in Kasama, and yeah, everything is perfectly fine. So that is the atmosphere in terms of politics.
That things seem to be going back. Defeat, or are they saying that they want to challenge the results?
Okay, so at a particular moment, I haven't spoken much to the people that have lost. I'm still trying to get in contact with them. But we did speak to one independent candidate who actually conceded defeat and urged the other losing candidates to actually support those that will win for the betterment of Kasama. So in terms of the ones that have won, of course, in Kasama Central, we have Chomba Elasmas, who is actually NRPUP. He got the seat, and in Lukasha we have Walia Daniel, who is also NRPUP. Kasama North we have Mutale Justin, who is also NRPUP. In Lubanseshi, Mwamba George is also NRPUP. Mpulungu North is Kazwe Freedom, and Mpulungu South Mutale Teddy. Both of them are NRPUP, and also we have in Panda, there is Ndolasha Patrick, is also NRPUP. And of course, also the United Party for National Development did manage to get some seats within Northern Province. We have in Porokoso, there is a Chileshe Warden, and then in Chulubi, Tembo Matthias, and then in Kaputa, Elvis Nkandu has returned the seat, and in Kudawika is Ngonga Maxas, is also UPND, and in Lunte we have Chasaya Katongo, is also UPND, and Luwingu Central we have Cheleka Patrick. So these are some of the seats that have been declared so far, and we can see that both the UPND and NRPUP have managed to acquire some seats, although in Kasama, most of the seats have been scooped by NRPUP, including the mayoral seat, and also all the councillor, the wards have been taken by NRPUP.
Okay, thank you for that, Rajesh. But also we wanted to find out how is the response from the people? Are they satisfied with the process so far? And also we know that today we are anticipating the final announcement of all the results. So what do you think are the sentiments of the people in Northern Province?
So yeah, like I did indicate earlier, Northern Province has been peaceful, and speaking on that, we realize that there hasn't been so much complaints, especially with the ordinary citizens. So yeah, here and there people may argue because of probably their political affiliation. They would probably want to say, no, there is unfairness in this, there's unfairness in that, but there isn't much commotion that can cause worry. So even the people on the ground, the people, the ordinary citizens, are just up and about with their businesses. Yeah.
Well, Rajesh, thank you so much for that update. And as you know, we'll still be getting back to you. And if anything significant happens that you want to share with us, please go ahead and give us a call and we'll be connecting back to you.
All right. Thank you so very much for having me.
That was our reporter from Northern Province, Rajesh Samiza, sharing with us what's going on. But the interesting thing he's mentioned is violent activities. They want life to go back to normal because they definitely understand that there's life after elections. When we come back, we'll be hearing more from you as we invite you to call in and be part the discussion this morning. Don't go anywhere.
After a long day of spreadsheets, traffic, and people saying circle back, Twambo just wants to stream his favorite show. But of course, his subscription expired. Good thing he's got the Airtel Money Global Pay Card for his global subscriptions. One tap and he's back in business. No panic, no drama. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your global pay card details, CVV, and expiry date. That's it. Show back on. Subscription paid. Couch life activated. Be like Twambo. Get your global pay card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Meet Suilanji, curious, creative, always learning. New skills, global trends, she's in on it. Design or tech, she's exploring the best international options. And with the Airtel Money Global Pay Card, paying is the easy details, CVV, and expiry date, and that's it. Be like Suilanji. Get your Global Pay Card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Say hello to the new Blueband taste you love, plus vanilla. Now available in stores countrywide.
This is Mwamba, the Deco Queen. She turns spaces from Mayo to wow. She could fly to China for new products, but why jet lag when you've got the Airtel Money Global Pay Card? No flights, no visas, just browse, pay, done. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your Global Pay Card details, CVV, and expiry date. Simple. Be like Mwamba. Get your Global Pay Card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Meet Mundia. He ditched the 9-to-5 to build his brand. And yeah, he's crushing it. With the Airtel Money Global Pay Card, he's not just buying ad space, he's building hype. He pays for ads the same way he sells most of his shoes. Online, fast, and always on. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your Global Pay Card details, CVV, and expiry date. That's it. The Airtel Money Global Pay Card, that's what keeps it moving. Be like Mundia. Get your Global Pay Card in the Airtel Money section. Well,
All right, thank you so much for staying glued to our Daybreak special right here on Prime Television Zambia and PTV2 Zambia. We're so glad that you are still with us at this particular hour. We still have quite a number of things to talk about today. And of course, later on, we will be opening the phone line so that you can come through with your comments and your contribution. And we're just reminding you to be very respectful as you call in later on, and also to stick to the topic of discussion or whatever that we'll be talking, whatever we have been talking about today in relation to elections so far. But of course, it's time to now get into the newspaper headlines. And Paul, I'll throw it to you just to give us some of the stories making headlines in the newspapers today.
Indeed, with a few hours remaining before we get to receive final results for the presidential results. Of course, today is the D-Day as indicated by the Electoral Commission of Zambia. At 11 hours, of course, you must tune in also to Prime TV, so don't switch off because we'll be streaming over. We'll be crossing over to our colleagues at the National Results Center where ECZ is expected to continue the announcement of the results. But let's let you know some of the leading stories in the tabloids this morning. Let's begin with the news Diggers. Leading story in the Diggers, PIZ knows ECZ. The results are 100% accurate with our monitors. TIZ says its assessment of 16 presidential results elected by monitors and Stake 05 announced by the ECZ generating a 96.9% integrity index due to process incidents observed during counting at polling stations and totaling centers. Remember that we've seen at the polling stations. Viringana.
Yeah, but also I think that recently we have seen a case in Matero where one candidate, says what they got like from the polling station and what the ECZ is announcing is totally different. And I think he's, he just posted something on his Facebook page where he says he has tried by all means to compare the results, but what is at ECZ and what they have announced is something else as compared to what is, currently, or what they put up together, or how people voted in Matero. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, colleagues.
Yeah, because also, for example, announces results in this way. The figures with ECZ template shared on the UPND blogs is showing differently. And I think it's a source of concern. Look at, for example, Opposition. I'd like to just bring this to light. Here's a video of returning officer announcing the results, who has won in terms of how each one has gotten. And after the video, you see a document shared on the UPND blogs showing different things. And it's a great concern if that truly is what is pertaining on the ground. But here's a video as an example in Lupososhi. Earlier, we did show the viewers the example you're giving, Rhoda, a very good example of Matero, where people are complaining that the figures in the Gen 20 is different from what the returning officer wants to announce. And that has caused confusion. By the way, ECZ has halted the counting in Matero again because of the same confusion. But let's see this video, and I think let's pay attention to what the returning officer is saying, and you pay attention to the document you see on the screen.
And that they have been given to Bundurigan Independent 431, Mulenga P. Boniface Independent 548, Lonkoto B. 4 SC 638, Mwansa M. Rachel CF 936, Bunduro Mano Independent 1014, Waya F. Benson Independent 2910, Mwansa Shadri UPND 6890, Waderazras NRPUP 9533. I further declare that a total of 626 ballot papers have been rejected as invalid, and that a total of 23,526 votes were cast. I therefore declare that the said Waderazras be this day duly elected as Member of Parliament for Pososhi constituency.
That is the returning officer, for example, there, indicating that Lazarus Chungu has gotten more votes than the UPND candidate. But look at this document on your screen, that has been shared by the UPND, swapping the two. The document you see on your screen shows actually that there's this document, where Wale Lazarus of NRPUP has gotten 9,000, as announced by the returning officer. Mwansa Shadrack of UPND getting 6,890. But look at another document you'll see, look at this document. Rhoda. Mwansa Shadrack gets 9,000. And this is the one being shared on the blogs of the UPND. This is a great concern.
Yeah.
This is a great concern. And Mr. Nyambe from TIZ, before you do your final assessment, what is this? Yeah, because then the video is clear. The returning officer says NRPOP gets this up, 9,000. Document being shared, they'll swap the names.
Of such situations. So in this case, then what should be the actuals?
As announced by the returning officer. I stated that after the returning officer announces, there are no changes, and anyone that refuses the changes goes to court. So any document you see must align with what the returning officer has announced.
So do you think that people in these polling stations were actually taking videos or some form of decisively 20? Were they taking videos just to make sure that they capture and they have the evidence?
Yeah, but also the reports I listed earlier of polling stations where SZ officials have been chased. Yeah. I think there's that clip in that regard. There should be a clip where SZ officials are being chased
from the
polling stations, from the totaling centers.
Before they even can announce.
Before they announce. So now the question is, if SZ who are the custodians are chased, who then remains to handle the figures? So I think these are concerns that we as a people should be concerned with, I think, on a very, very serious note, and address, in time before the results. We arrested according to government. Let me read the statement in full. But that's a headline in the Diggers, but let me read the statement in full. Police have apprehended suspected militia and persons of interest in an operation conducted at a premise in Lusaka's Kabulonga area. Someone used to mention Kabulonga. It's Kabulonga. Secretary to Cabinet, Mr. Kangwa says, the persons of interest have been under surveillance over the last few years. And more recently, in the last few months. He says some of the individuals involved were connected to military plans involving foreign nationals and illegal military training camps, posing a serious threat to state security. He said that the individuals were also found in possession of high-grade military weapons, ammunition, and other materials for use in armed insurrection. He says the operation resulted in the seizure of restricted high-grade military weapons and apprehension of suspected members of the militia and other persons found at the scene, while others fled and their whereabouts are known. Mr. Kangwa says during the operation, the occupants of the premise fired shots at the law enforcement agents, which resulted in exchange of fire. What's in the kunkondo? Boom, 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 boom. He says others found on the scene were senior members of a certain political party in Zambia. He says among those apprehended include Simon Piri.
Isn't he the one that people were posting that he was shot dead?
No, they're talking about Mtoteka Fwai.
Oh, okay.
Patrick Mwansa, his husband to Tasila, is amongst those and
reported to be missing.
No, who are all held in lawful custody at various police stations in Lusaka.
So I want to ask a question.
But let me finish the reading. He says the suspects have been charged and access will be given to their families and lawyers. So meaning now you can't access them. Additional point Mr. Kangwa mentions. Mr. Kangwa further stressed that NRPUP presidential candidate Brian Mundubile was also found at the scene.
I want to ask you a question. How can these people attack themselves? Because they're the ones, they're saying they're involved, this militia group is involved in the attack in Kabulonga. And we assume this attack is
the one at Brian Mundubile's home, right? So how is it that they were attacking themselves?
No, law enforcement agencies
Went there.
and because Babengirira, they attacked that. But let's hear from Secretary to Cabinet, top civil servant, right now, who issued that statement last night.
August 2026, the Zambia Police, working on a tip-off from vigilant members of the public, led a joint operation to apprehend suspected militia and persons of interest in an operation that was conducted at a premise in Lusaka's Kabulonga area. The persons of military training camps, thus posing a serious threat to state security. The individuals in issue were found in possession of high-grade military weapons, ammunition, and other materials for use in armed insurrection. The operation resulted in the seizure of restricted high-grade military weapons and the apprehension of suspected members of the militia and other persons found at the scene, while others fled and their whereabouts are unknown. During the operation, the occupants of the premises fired shots at the law enforcement agencies, which resulted in an exchange of fire. Others found on the scene were senior members of certain political parties in Zambia. Among 11 persons apprehended from the scene of crime who face various criminal charges include Mr. George Sanga, Dr. Bishop Trevor Mwamba, Mr. Simon Piri, Mr. Richard Banda, Mr. Francis Mlenga, and Mr. Patrick Mwansa, all of whom are held in lawful custody at various police stations in Lusaka. The suspects have been charged and access will be given to their families and their lawyers. It is also important to mention that Mr. Brian Munduvile, presidential candidate for the NRPUP, was also found on the scene. Investigations are ongoing and the nation will be kept updated accordingly. I thank you.
That is the statement from Secretary to Cabinet, Dr. Patrick Kangwa, indicating that George Sanga, Patrick Mwansa, Bishop Mwamba, and others are detained. They have been charged. They have not been given access to their lawyers and families, maybe at a later stage. At the scene also was Brian Mundubile. Is that a video? This is a very different video.
That's a different video from the last incident.
Please don't confuse.
No, don't confuse things. There's no video or pictures that have been posted.
I don't know what you make of this, Kathy.
First, can I put this?
Please put it on.
Yeah, I think that there's really no need to get excited about this because this is a ridiculous statement. Crucial point of announcing election results. And I think that's what we should be concentrating on. These allegations are not allegations that you make right now when there are two opponents and one you want to charge with something and then the other one, nothing said about anything that is going on. So I think that we should be very careful with our state security. Zambia has enjoyed peace. Don't take it for granted. And even as our leaders, we have the right to speak to them. He is a minister right now. We can speak to him because we are the people who are saying, let them show us the pictures of these militias and their weapons and not a statement because we are interested in really looking at those pictures. These people are people that have been missing. We didn't have news. Then today, they come up and charge them for something like this. Why weren't they explaining where these people were? We have a report of someone who's been shot. Right now, we don't know the situation where they are. What kind of a country are we living in? I think that they should be very careful. That's all I can say, that they shouldn't mislead people. And All these things.
Maybe you're being too harsh on the state cabinet when you say they shouldn't mislead people.
Yeah.
That's a ridiculous statement.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you think you're being too harsh on
I think I sh-
harsh on
I
the
think I sh-
secretary to cabinet?
I think I should be harsh because he's the one who's supposed to be quietening things down. And Mundube, he's got supporters, right? You were saying that people shouldn't mock the losers. In case he loses, we're going to have angry people out there. And now you are accusing their leader of something that you have not even shown them what exactly is happening. Pictures tell a story. Then you come up with this allegation. It's obviously going to have its own effects. So if I were them, I would wait. We deal with what we have. And then we have elections. We're announcing the final results. Let's deal with that. And then finally, we say, okay, after all, we found this, and this is the evidence. This is one thing. What are you asking for?
Maybe people have been asking what these people are, so it's important to the nation.
Ethiopia started for the last days of what has been happening. And you can still find ways of breaking terrible news to the country.
It's terrible news.
Yes, it is terrible news because this is
sensitive.
Yeah, it's very sensitive information. Yeah. So that's what I think. And you know, we
what if there's truth to that?
Well,
shouldn't that concern us? That
So all we're saying is that there could be truth, there may not be truth, but this time is very sensitive for us to bring in more news before we get the news we're expecting to hear.
But also the families require, look, Brandwood has been holding press briefings.
Why don't they reach out?
Where is asking, where are these people? Where are these people? Where's, Patrick Mansa? Where is George Sanga? Where is this? So, isn't it a question that has been asked,
Paul,
and now Dr. Kangwa is simply just answering?
The logical thing, I think, is to think properly. Brian Mondobile, having been involved in such militia activities, would not have the confidence to come to the people and ask where these people are.
So you don't think Brandwood has the capacity to do that?
Well, I'm not saying that. I don't want to defend anyone because I don't know what has happened. But I think psychologically, if you are involved in such a grave thing and you know people are going to find out about it, I think there's a way that people who do such things behave. You won't see them come to the front because they are guilty. And there's a way that you can prove that this one is not involved in this kind of thing because he's been there. He hasn't hidden. And I don't think he could be even let out to go and say anything. By this time, he could have been in the cells where his friends are. Yeah, that's what I think. So
maybe the question is, why didn't they also arrest him?
Yeah, why didn't they arrest him? We need to be very analytical, about these issues, and we should not take them just as
Why did they leave him if he was also in the presence?
Exactly, and that's a crazy crime.
It's a crazy crime.
It is. It's not something that you would let someone off easily because it borders on national security.
Yeah.
So he should be in the chooks right now. So, but he's not, and he's let out, and his friends are arrested. Does that make sense? That's the question for me.
And maybe before we let this story go, I know that probably, the callers, when we start picking in calls, will definitely, contribute a lot on this particular, topic. But also, looking at this headline, there are things that can be true at the same time. Government has a responsibility to protect national security. And of course, there's a genuine threat. We insist on the word genuine threat. But also those investigations must be transparent enough, to withstand scrutiny, particularly when they involve opposition political figures. And of course, if there are any armed groups, they need to be arrested. If there's evidence linking to political actors to them, they need to be investigated. But ultimately, responsibility must be established through evidence and, of course, due process, not through, just a headline or a statement or political act.
The nation does not across borders.
Mhm.
And if there's a threat to national security, should the Zambians pause because of elections? Should the government pause? Should the arrest not be effected just because there's an election? It's clamped down. And you cannot let loose people that have been found with weapons. Kathy.
So I think the ones I found at
Yes.
I have a lot of
Why gunshots?
yeah, because so the gunshots, we know that the gunshots were not exchanged. That's something they said. They were shot. They were shot at. No, I think the report we've seen, the evidence they've shown at Brian Montevilla's house, they were being shot. We've only seen one gun shot that passed him and went to someone else and hit someone else, and someone was shot at.
Occupants of the premise fired shots at the law enforcement agents, which resulted in an exchange of fire.
Okay.
So the occupants, meaning George Sanga, Brian Mundwida, and the others, started shooting at the law enforcement agencies.
Yeah.
Then the law enforcement agents also started shooting back. So
So are we saying that when Brian gave that statement, was he just giving us the side of his story and not giving a complete story of what exactly transpired?
So I think that's why I'm just saying that we need to just really be very careful, and everybody should not get overexcited until we hear what actually is happening, because if it excites people, people may feel like they're only persecuting people because they're politicians who are involved in an election that is critical, that is very debatable right now.
what do you think then, Kathy, should have been the response of government and the law enforcement agencies when they have intelligence that there are offensive weapons, a threat to national security? What do you think was going to be the right, course of action?
I don't think I can prescribe what they should have done, right now, because I wouldn't know. All I'm saying is this is not the best way to handle this situation, because
What would be the best way?
they should have thought of another way.
Like which way?
I don't know. I'm not in there. That's why they're there, to think of the best
Because
possible
they
options.
acted and you think the action was not okay.
Yeah, because I think that we're waiting to hear the results. Let's focus on that. And I think
Offensive weapons are found at someone's residence and you let them?
No, Paul, I think we understand that aspect. We understand how serious that case is. But again, we're saying, in the interest of peace for the country, we should wait for an opportune time, because it's going to come. The election announcement is just today. And then we conclude. So why not announce tomorrow? Is there a problem? Will they lose anything?
Those weapons will be used then.
No, those weapons have been grabbed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they are continuing with investigations.
So they shouldn't have announced to the nation that they did that. They should have kept quiet until the final. That's the point you're making,
No,
right?
I think don't put words in.
No, I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand.
Paul, I think I'm only referring to how sensitive this aspect is, and what impact it may have right now when we are expecting election results for both of the candidates. Now, accusing one of having been involved in such a serious case, what implication does it have? Even on the election results itself, what implication does it have? So now should we stop waiting? Because he's a criminal, So I think those are the things that we need to ask, and then...
But also remember, even before we get the cause, we'll get into the cause segment just now, but before we get there, also remember that there's some backstory to this. They told us themselves, NRPUP, that they sent some people for training in Russia. Security. Doesn't that connect? Now look, you are the one that even sent people to train all the way in Russia. For what?
I think we better get to the cause, because those are really highly sensitive issues at this time. People's tempers are high, and we can move on to something. Yes, hold your fire.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So just to remind you that you can call us on the number 0776-409840. We are live right now in studios, and we are ready to take in your calls. We do have a caller online. Good morning, you're through to the Daybreak Special. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Go ahead with your contribution, sir.
I'm fine. My name is James Longo. Is that for now? The policemen who are in charge of this, because this, if it goes to say that he was involved in that scene, and then he will be taken to the police, and then the people will paint the building to say, oh, he has been arrested because there are elections. You know people how emotional are. So for now, let it be in their hands, and then you concentrate on the results, because this is sensitive.
Okay.
And you know mentality of how us Zambians are. That's what I can say.
All right. Thank you so much for your contribution. We can take in some more call. Please call us and
thank you so much.
Just ensure that you reduce the volume of the TV as you get to call us. Or he says we should focus on the election results and put that on hold.
That's the Secretary Cabinet didn't put that on hold.
Oh, what I can
We do have another caller online. Good morning. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
In Southern Province is more of tribalism. For me, I think it's not. Because, like I say, Kasama Northern Province, we have Kasama North and Kasama Central. At the moment, no UPND candidate has scooped any position. Only NLPUP. In December 2025, the mayor, Ms. Teresa Kolara, died. They held a by-election for mayor candidate. Then the UPND member scooped that position. He only stayed for 3 months in office and the parliament was dissolved. Right now, he has failed. Only NRPUP candidate has scooped all the positions. So can we say that it's being political or loyalty? I'm sure the members here in Kasama, they just love NRPUP. And this is the party, you can say it's PF, because all along it's been PF. And the people who are in NRPUP are those people, they are just loyal to the party. Because even Munduvire was the provincial minister for Northern and also MP from Porokoso. But he has done nothing when you go to Porokoso, there is nothing. In Northern Province, there is nothing. But people are voting for that party because there is Munduvire and the other people who are in PF. So they just love that party. So it's not all about it. I don't know anyway, but for me it's not right.
Calling us this morning, she says it's loyalty to the party. And some things are not tribal. People are just, they just love that particular party. Whether it's this individual who's standing, they've been replaced, they will still vote for that particular party.
Yeah.
So we have another caller online. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is Florence and I'm calling from Livingston.
Please go ahead with your contribution.
Can I please speak in Bemba?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, thank you. My contribution is going to Madam Abomike Renabo. She has spoken so well. The only thing, she shouldn't be siding sounding like siding. The Kenya issues at Babombe, according to what we did Ukubomba. Because we are all Zambians and we love Zambia. And it's one Zambia, one nation. Whatever is happening in this country, please, let's wait until my investigation is happy. That's when we can know if it's speaker.
Thank you so much.
Because, even if you say this issue is very sensitive,
They already started the whole thing by Ukulalande thing to Fideta Samuela. So it's no longer something that is being hidden to us Zambians. So please, all we are asking is let there be peace in this country. We have got a lot of children. Let's be very, very, very fair to each other here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. I think we still have more callers on the line. The number is 0776409840. Another one. Good morning. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from. I think we'll get to respond later.
No, I didn't want to respond. I want to ask the question.
Please go ahead with your contribution. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Okay. I'm Chilala calling from Savonga.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. My comment is just on what Paul was saying on voting pattern. He's right. Now, in addition to what he commented on, I feel what the previous president did, Eddie Kalungu, to choose the running mate Inonge from Western, did some marvelous work. For Munduri to choose Machedu Zoro from the same region, I think it backfired. So that pattern, I think, whoever did that constitution to say there must be a running mate, well, deals to balance up. Look at NCH. The running mate is from Luapula or whatever, Lolo Ligi. She was there, come to there, doing some campaigns, which was not possible for Munduri to do. No wonder they were moving together. They couldn't even split. So that also affected. The running mate was from either Northwestern or that other region. I think the votes could have been different. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Please, when you call us, go straight and leave your comments. Just in case you cannot hear us, just go straight to the point and talk to us this morning on any issue that you'd like to comment on that we have been talking about today, especially from the newspaper headlines. The number is 0776409840. For now, we take a short break. We'll be back on the other side to continue with our program.
After a long day of spreadsheets, traffic, and people saying circle back, Twambo just wants to stream his favorite show. But of course, his subscription expired. Good thing he's got the Airtel Money Global Pay Card for his global subscriptions. One tap and he's back in business. No panic, no drama. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your Global Pay Card details, CVV, and expiry date. That's it. Show back on. Subscription paid. Couch life activated. Be like Twambo. Get your Global Pay Card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Meet Suilanji. Curious, creative, always learning. New skills, global trends, she's in on it. Design or tech, she's exploring the best international options. And with the Airtel Money Global Pay Card, paying is the easy part. One quick tap and she's learning from the best. No stress, no visa, no problem. Even her parents are getting in on it. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your Global Pay Card details, CVV, and expiry date, and that's it. Be like Suilanji. Get your Global Pay Card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Say hello to the new Blue Band with vanilla. Double the yum with classic Blue Band flavor and rich creamy vanilla taste. New Blue Band with vanilla, the taste you love plus vanilla. Now available in stores countrywide.
but why pick jet lag when you've got the Airtel Money Global Pay Card? No flights, no visas, just browse, pay, done. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your global pay card details, CVV, and expiry date. Simple. Be like Mwamba. Get your global pay card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your
Airtel Money. Instant, secure,
Meet Mundia. He ditched the 9-to-5 to build his brand. And yeah, he's crushing it. Online, fast, and always on. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your global pay card.
After a long day of spreadsheets, traffic, and people saying circle back, Twambo just wants to stream his favorite show. But of course, his subscription expired. Good thing he's got the Airtel Money Global Pay Card for his global subscriptions. One tap and he's back in business. No panic, no drama. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your global pay card details, CVV, and expiry date. That's it. Show back on. Subscription paid. Couch life activated. Be like Twambo. Get your global pay card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Meet Suilanji, curious, creative, always learning. New skills, global trends, she's in on it. Design or tech, she's exploring the best international options. And with the Airtel Money Global Pay Card, paying is the easy part. One quick tap and she's learning from the best. No stress, no visa, no problem. Even her parents are getting in on it. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your global pay card details, CVV, and expiry date, and that's it. Be like Suilanji. Get your global pay card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Say hello to the new Blue Band with vanilla. Double the yum with classic Blue Band flavor and rich creamy vanilla taste. New Blue Band with vanilla, the taste you love plus vanilla. Now available in stores countrywide.
This is Mwamba, the Deco Queen. She turns spaces from Mayo to wow. She could fly to China for new products, but why pick jet lag when you've got the Airtel Money Global Pay Card? No flights, no visas, just browse, pay, done. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your global pay card details, CVV, and expiry date. Simple. Be like Mwamba. Get your global pay card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure,
Meet Mundia. He ditched the 9-to-5 to build his brand. And yeah, he's crushing it. With the Airtel Money Global Pay Card, he's not just buying ad space, he's building hype. He pays for ads the same way he sells most of his shoes. Online, fast, and always on. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your global pay card details, CVV, and expiry date. That's it. The Airtel Money Global Pay Card, that's what keeps it moving. Be like Mundia. Get your global pay card in the Airtel Money section.
Welcome to New World of Entertainment in Zambia. Cartoons, music, news, movies, drama, series, documentaries, food, travel, the best from Hollywood and Bollywood. International football, including CAF competitions, La Liga, Serie A, German Bundesliga, Saudi League, Carabao Cup, Asian Championship, Barclays Women's League, local leagues, and much more. Grab your Azam TV decoder at 350 Zambian Kwacha and full kit at 589 Zambian Kwacha. Affordable monthly packages, 100 Zambian Kwacha, 200 Zambian Kwacha, and 300 Zambian Kwacha. For more details, contact us on 971-246-222, 763-664.
After a long day of spreadsheets, traffic, and people saying circle back, Twambo just wants to stream his favorite show. But of course, his subscription expired. Good thing he's got the Airtel Money Global Pay Card for his global subscriptions. One tap and he's back in business. No panic, no drama. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your global pay card details, CVV, and expiry date. That's it. Show back on. Subscription paid. Couch life activated. Be like Twambo. Get your global pay card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Meet Suilanji, curious, creative, always learning. New skills, global trends, she's in on it. Design or tech, she's exploring the best international options. And with the Airtel Money Global Pay Card, paying is the easy part. One quick tap and she's learning from the best. No stress, no visa, no problem. Even her parents are getting in on it. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your Global Pay Card details, CVV, and expiry date, and that's it. Be like Suilanji. Get your Global Pay Card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Say hello to the new Blue Band with vanilla. Double the yum with classic Blue Band flavor and rich creamy vanilla taste. New Blue Band with vanilla, the taste you love plus vanilla. Now available in stores countrywide.
This is Mwamba, the Deco Queen. She turns spaces from mayo to wow. She could fly to China for new products, but why pick jet lag when you've got the Airtel Money Global Pay Card? No flights, no visas, just browse, pay, done. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your Global Pay Card details, CVV, and expiry date. Simple. Be like Mwamba. Get your Global Pay Card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Meet Mundia. He ditched the 9 to 5 to build his brand. And yeah, he's crushing it. With the Airtel Money Global Pay Card, he's not just buying ad space, he's building hype. He pays for ads the same way he sells most of his shoes. Online, fast, and always on. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your Global Pay Card details, CVV, and expiry date. That's it. The Airtel Money Global Pay Card, that's what keeps it moving. Be like Mundia. Get your Global Pay Card in the Airtel Money section.
Welcome to New World of Entertainment in Zambia. Cartoons, music, news, movies, drama, series, documentaries, food, travel, the best from Hollywood and Bollywood, international football, including CAF competitions, La Liga, Serie A, German Bundesliga, Saudi League, Carabao Cup, Asian Championship, Barclays Women's League, local leagues, and much more. Grab your Azam TV decoder at 350 Zambian Kwacha and full kit at 589 Zambian Kwacha. Affordable monthly packages, 100 Zambian Kwacha, 200 Zambian Kwacha, and 300 Zambian Kwacha. For more details, contact us on 971-246-222, 763-664-455. What's up? 77-500-0013. Azam TV. Entertainment for everybody.
Welcome back. We just went for that short break, and of course before that we did take in a few calls, and different callers from different parts of the country did call in just to air out their opinions and also give us an update of how the voting patterns were in various constituencies. But before we close today, let's bring the morning together. Zambia voted on the 13th. Since then, we have watched results arrive constituency by constituency, and we have also witnessed celebrations and concessions, surprises, disappointments, disputes, and moments of tension. But elections are not only about who wins power, they are also about the strength of the institutions that manage the process, the maturity of those who compete, the responsibility of the media, and the willingness of citizens to respect the democratic process. And as we are still waiting for ECZ to continue giving us verified results, I have my colleagues on set. We have been once again joined by Kizito and Naomi, who went for a short tea break, I should say. Or coffee break.
The tea break was good. Did we enjoy Kizito?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. A bit of relaxation. But hi to you, ladies.
Hi. Where's the coffee?
It's done.
I
like that.
So maybe just in conclusion, colleagues, I'll start with you, Kizito. As we, still wait for results, of course, as we wait for the conclusion of the presidential results, what should Zambia be most careful about in these final moments?
Rhoda, it's a burden of responsibility. I call it a burden because when you're responsible, when you're mature, it's not easy. You become cautious what you say, how you say things. You're not just talking. You are mindful of if you're an influencer, what your words will mean to the next person. Respectful, disrespectful. You're mindful. If you noticed, we were having conversations with Paul, and I had to ask to say, reword that word, change that word. So this particular time we need to play a lot of diplomacy, and this is a very important function in a period where anticipations are very high, and rightfully so the citizens are demanding for answers in certain areas, concerns raised. But you see, at the end of the day, we should allow institutions that are mandated to be the ones to talk and have the last say. I remember there's a word we call, social justice, or mob justice. Mob justice. How can the mob give justice? Justice is only granted at court. So it's mob injustice. I call it mob injustice. So I'm looking forward that Zambia will be patient, take it easy. Let's walk tall. Let's remember their valley laws, mountain tops. There'll be a lot of conversations. The international community will talk. Social media, will give their own analysis. But at the end of the day, we wait for the answers. And when the answers are given, there'll be room for people to agree, to appeal. And when history is written, it will be that mother Zambia that I love. Suffice to say, I'm very happy about Wapula, where I come from. It's zero incidences, peaceful. And this is an area where you see, Brian Mundwile getting some seats, UPND getting some seats, and, no violence, no fighting. I pray that the rest of Zambia will replicate that pattern.
Absolutely, Kizito. And Kizito's wordings, really, I think that the most powerful thing that we can do at this moment, in these very critical times, is we need the very agitated, out of the 226 constituencies, for those that may have missed. Hakainde Hichilema is leading with 1,544,140 against Brian Mundwile, 1,030,662 there. So these are the credible results, and keep watching Prime Television. We'll be able to give you all the information that you need with regards to the results. But wherever it is that you could be watching us today, or if you're moving in town, please be safe. We're not saying that it's dangerous out there, that just be alert, but also nothing to worry about, really, Kathy.
And Naomi, I must say that I passed through town yesterday. I like empirical evidence.
Right.
Yeah. So I passed through town and it was good. I'm like, where is everyone?
Yes.
People are saying town. So sometimes propaganda must be taken as such. A town is good. Go to town. Go and do some lions. I'm hungry.
Right. Are you doing that for us today?
That's
It's a tradition, you must.
Yeah. But Kathy, what are you telling the Zambian people this morning?
Yeah, I think that firstly, I wanted to address the issue that callers keep referring to me as supporting NRPUP. I think that in my analysis, if it's like if you are against. If, brother, you're against me, and I say something that feels like I'm speaking against you, you won't like me. You feel like you don't like me. I say things against me. So I think I'm really political party.
And we are not as media houses.
No, we are not. So when we speak, sometimes try to see, okay, if she was being objective, how would her message sound? And not really side with any. But I'm not upset with anyone, nor the caller. I just want to say I agree with what you have said, Kizito, and what Naomi has said. I think the most important thing is to remember that we cannot, no matter how aggrieved we are, we cannot dialogue. In a democracy, we're saying we're not rushing to pick up weapons to run like everywhere else. We're saying, no, as we are civilized, we're people who want to dialogue and talk about things. When they are wrong, we wait for the appropriate time and we talk. We fight with words and not with weapons.
Absolutely.
So I just want to say that even as we wait for the results, may we all be patient. And if we have we are aggrieved in any way, we're not happy with the results, let's wait for the right time to present the evidence and so that the courts can resolve issues for us. I think we need to start trusting our systems. They may not be right and correct, but I tell you, it's the best way to go about it. There's no other way. So I wish us all the best, and that our hearts will be calmed down, and that the next, whoever is going to be elected will look past the tribalism, the whatever segregations, and we will just look at reuniting the nation and for us moving forward.
Absolutely. Well, colleagues, that was a great show. Thank you so much for being here with me or with us. And
you're looking awesome.
Thank you so much.
I don't know, you're glowing.
Yeah.
I can see even the earrings. They've got details. You're ready for the set. No, it's okay. It's okay to tell you. And look at the smile, man.
It's a charmer.
Yes.
A what?
A charmer.
A prince charmer.
That is who you are.
Okay. You see how happy we are, Naomi, here in the morning. Yeah?
And we don't even agree anyway.
Yeah.
No, and we don't have to actually.
No, we don't have to.
Well, colleagues, that brings us to the end of today's edition of the Daybreak Special. 4 hours of news, live reports, analysis, accountability, and conversations as Zambia awaits the conclusion of the August 30th general election result. Whatever the final outcome will be, and of course, a nation to Kizito, Poshingongo, and of course, Naomi, as the country still awaits the verified results. Continue following the Prime Television Zambia page and PTV2 Zambia for verified election results and breaking developments throughout the day. Stay informed, stay peaceful, stay with the home of breaking news.
Daybreak was brought to you by Airtel.
After a long day of spreadsheets, traffic, and people saying circle back, Twambo just wants to stream his favorite show. But of course, his subscription expired. Good thing he's got the Airtel Money Global Pay Card for his global subscriptions. One tap and he's back in business. No panic, no drama. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your Global Pay Card details, CVV, and expiry date. That's it. Show back on. Subscription paid. Couch life activated. Be like Twambo. Get your Global Pay Card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Meet Suilanji, curious, creative, always learning. New skills, global trends, she's in on it. Design or tech, she's exploring the best international options. And with the Airtel Money Global Pay Card, paying is the easy part. One quick tap and she's learning from the best. No stress, no visa, no problem. Even her parents are getting in on it. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your Global Pay Card details, CVV, and expiry date, and that's it. Be like Suilanji. Get your Global Pay Card in the Airtel Money section.
To the new Blue Band with vanilla. Double the yum with classic Blue Band flavor and rich creamy vanilla taste. New Blue Band with vanilla. The taste you love plus vanilla. Now available in stores countrywide.
This is Mwamba, the Deco Queen. She turned spaces from Mayo to wow. She could fly to China for new products, but why pick jet lag when you've got the Airtel Money Global Pay Card? No flights, no visas, just browse, pay, done. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your Global Pay Card details, CVV, and expiry date. Simple. Be like Mwamba. Get your Global Pay Card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure,
Meet Mundia. He ditched the 9-to-5 to build it always on. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your Global Pay Card details, CVV, and expiry date. That's it. The Airtel Money Global Pay Card, that's what keeps it moving. Be like Mundia. Get your Global Pay Card in the Airtel Money section.
Welcome to New World of Entertainment in Zambia. Cartoons, music, news, movies, drama, series, documentaries, food, travel, the best from Hollywood and Bollywood, international football, including CAF competitions, La Liga, Serie A, German Bundesliga, Saudi League, Carabao Cup, Asian Championship, Barclays Women's League, local leagues, and much more. Grab your Azam TV decoder at 350 Zambian Kwacha and full kit at 589 Zambian Kwacha. Affordable monthly packages, 100 Zambian Kwacha, 200 Zambian Kwacha, and 300 Zambian Kwacha. More details, contact us on 971